What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another awesome Art of War tier list. We are here to talk about the newest book on the block, the brand new faction that is taking the meta by Warp Storm.
Aha! Get it? Yes, welcome on tier list Wednesday. Unfortunately, things had to get switched around, but we are here and we're ready. We're ready to give you the tiers.
Oh yeah, we are taking every unit in the Demon Codex and ranking it, as we should.
As we should.
As we should. We've even found out that there are Forge World units for demons. Who would have known? Who could have possibly have guessed? Jack, could you name it? Before we open this, can you name any of the demons from Forge World?
Corbac's Utter Blight.
Other than the one I said to you 30 seconds before we started. Oh, I am impressed you remembered.
Angrath?
Yeah, no, I actually think that's his name. I'm not actually sure.
Do you think?
Yeah.
There is. Damn, how come I can't remember?
You're doing great so far. Like.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember the name of the guy the Corn Demon Prince that doesn't have wings.
Yeah, I don't know. Skull Raker.
Good try though.
I don't know. Am I really wrong?
No, that's his like name on the inside.
Oh yeah, if his friends call him Skull Raker.
Yeah, they just as a nickname. Ateos Recaries.
Oh yeah, him I know.
Yeah.
And there's Arachnio. We'll rank them all. But first we got to talk about this $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Alenda S. Thousand Suns ally ideas. So there's two sides to this, which GW did kind of plan ahead. So Thousand Suns doesn't have any clauses about Agents of Chaos in their rules, but if you take a qualifying patrol or like less than 25% detachment that's pure Tzeentch, it doesn't break any Thousand Suns rules.
Right.
So
you still get your...
First of all, take all Tzeentch.
Yes, that would be the first step.
Awkward question. Since Agents of Chaos, the keyword doesn't matter at all, would Bellacor like work in that? Because he has Tzeentch.
What do you mean Agents of Chaos doesn't matter?
Well, because the Thousand Suns rules don't care whether... Because like a demon...
I thought you don't get Cabal points unless you're pure.
Yeah, you don't. But then, like, if you have all demons, then you, you know what? Like, I don't even know. You're the Chaos player.
Yeah. Well, I don't.
Hold on. No, we're gonna find this.
T-Suns. What are you saying?
Okay, I'm saying that maybe you still get Cabal points with Bellacor, because the inclusion of
Agent of Chaos
Tzeentch does not prevent Thousands. All right, so it won't be Bellacor.
Haha.
But anyway, you take some Tzeentch demons. They get Agents of Chaos. They don't break your Cabal points. Because of this specific rule. And for my money, I don't think that you need to lean as heavy into Flamers of Tzeentch as you normally was, even though they're awesome, because Thousand Suns kind of already do.
Yeah, mass amounts of AP2, I think you've already got covered.
Yeah, I just like more
It's
Cyphers.
Araka the Warfiend.
Oh, okay, Araka the Warfiend. Fair enough, Ahu. I would say that you want to go for a couple of like fast characters. Maybe that... No, you're not going to get the full beefcake, because you want a Thousand Suns Warlord. But I think Exalted Flamers would be really good in Thousand Suns.
They'd be alright.
As well as like Chariots.
They'd be fine.
Chariots are fast, so like, and they're not that expensive.
They are. They're 120, and the Exalteds are 75. Like you could include all of that for. Yeah. You could include 3 of each for 585.
That's probably what I would try to put in a Thousand Suns list.
You need an HQ, and then it costs you 3 CP, and I probably wouldn't.
You could do a patrol, I guess.
I mean, I think pink horrors are just good enough.
Yeah, like a unit of pink Quarries. Okay, another caster with more mortal wound damage, because I've never met a Thousand Suns player who's like, you know what? I think I have enough psychic characters, and I just feel like I've already done enough mortal wounds. Yeah. Psychic phase, I'm good here.
You know,
no one thinks that.
I just think I did too many mortal wounds, and I'd like to do fewer.
And that's me. I think they did
too many, and you would like them to do fewer?
I would like them to do fewer.
Yeah.
All right, Jack, let's kick off this tier list.
Yep, you're getting out the Imperial Armor.
We're getting out the Imperial Armor book, because we need to know what Otto's Recaries actually does. It's like Otto's Rax Recaries. He's got a whole name.
It is Ateos Recaries. It's the one I know.
That's the one. All right, we're gonna find out what this. Go ahead. All right, here we go. Hey, Nurgle Man the chat, gonna be the greatest.
Uraka the Warfiend, Scabia Thrax, Corbac's Utter Blight, Mammon Transfigured, Angrath the Unbound, Ateos Recaries.
Okay.
All right, so Ateos Recaries is infinity points.
He's gotten cheaper than that. I'll find out his points.
Okay. Yeah, he was 700 when the book dropped, which is he's prime.
He's definitely less.
He doesn't have a demon save, because why would he?
Nope.
He This was way before that.
Yep.
So he has toughness 7 with 27 wounds. He hits some wounds on. He's weapon skill, ballistic skill 2. He has a bunch of attacks. That's not why you take him. He does not get. I'm assuming that the Tzeentch discipline is changed to the Pandemoniac discipline.
I think it's a fair assumption. We'll just assume he gets access to spells.
He gets +1 to cast, +2 if he has 14 or more wounds. He gives a unit that is leadership. Invulnerable saving throws made for this model can never be modified, which is not the same thing as being ignored.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. He explodes on a 4+ for D6.
Oh, solid.
Yeah. And then every time an enemy model manifests psychic power within 18 inches, roll a D6 on a 4+ to take a mortal. He has I8 shooting, D6 shot, strength 8, AP 4, damage 3, blast. And then he has alright combat as well. He has a sweep attack that's okay, and he has a smash attack that is okay.
Okay.
I don't even think this guy's better than a Lord of Change.
Well, he has gotten cheaper.
How much cheaper?
He's 650 now. How many wounds is he? He's 27, so he's like 7 more than a Lord of Change.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
but he has a 3-up, 4-up.
Yeah. That's fair. Where's he going?
Banish back to the warp.
Yikes!
For 650 points, I'm not convinced he's better than a Lord of Change at 300.
Fair enough. Well, let's keep going down the line. You know what? This happens to just be a Forge World start. Let's go ahead and get Angrath in there.
Yeah, might as well. He's right here, actually. I'm going to tell you what he does, and then you're going to make me very sad with points.
He is cheaper than Otto's Rock Harries.
Sure. It moves 16. The Terrace Rock Harries moves 18, which is cute. Moves 16. He's weapon skill 2 all the time. He's strength 10, 24 wounds with a 2-up, 4-up. Mm-hmm. He can deny the witch twice.
Solid.
He gives leadership and he explodes on a 4+ for D6. And in combat, he is fine. He has 2d6 shots at strength 7, AP 3, damage 2, 12-inch range. And he can either be 16 attacks at strength 10, AP 2, damage D3, or 8 attacks at strength 13, which is the wrong number, AP 4, damage D3 +3. He does have Unstoppable Ferocity, which before gave him +1 strength and attacks, and now does nothing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're sure that there's an FAQ coming for this at some point. No, there is.
No.
There is.
Maybe a year from now.
At some point.
Sure. So this guy, again, not 100% convinced he's better than a Bloodthirster.
No, he doesn't. He's faster than Bloodthirster.
He moves 16, which is hot.
He's also weapon skill 2.
His weapon skill does not degrade.
Yeah, solid.
He cannot take any Warlord traits, though, because they all have to take Inspiring Leader.
Yeah, that's the one he can take.
If he could take the 5-up Feel No Pain, I would legitimately think this guy's okay. A 2-up, 4-up is decent. Honestly, worth it. Even if you don't get a demon save. He denies the witch twice. This guy would be all right at 350 points.
He is not that.
He is how many?
500. Ah! Yeah. He's 500.
Banish back to the warp.
Oh god, I think he's 150 cheaper than auto carries though.
Yeah, he's just the problem with these guys is they're hideously overcosted compared to what you can get from the Greater Demons.
However, fear not, we're talking about Codex units now. Let's talk about the Beast of Nurgle for a good stretch. We got a good stretch of Codex units here. Beast of Nurgle.
Okay.
I actually like them.
I know you do.
I've been on the train.
I think they're kind of whatever.
Yeah.
So in terms of durability, they're actually, unless you count the regenerating wounds thing, where if you don't know, if at the end of a phase or the end of a turn, I believe it's not the end of a phase. I think it's the end of a turn.
I will let you check. I genuinely think it's phase.
It might be phase. I know I might be confusing it with the Chaos Spawn because they both came out and I haven't played either of them yet. End of each phase. So the Chaos Spawn is end of the turn.
Okay.
End of each phase, if they've lost wounds but were not killed, they go back up to full.
And this is an 80-point model that is 7 wounds,
toughness 6, 5-up in combat, 4-up from shooting.
Yeah.
And is not terrible in combat.
A T6, so it's not that, it's 7 wounds for 80 points. So it's coming in around like 11 points per wound, which is hardly bad. But T6... It's
not great.
It's not amazing.
So
but
let's compare it to where it was.
Yeah. Which
was 5 wounds with a 5-up Feel No Pain, which is just more durable than this.
Yeah, probably.
And those things were, I think, 35, 40?
Oh, yeah, they were silly efficient. It's definitely worse than it was before.
Yeah. I mean, its damage output is better, but it moves 6. So these things are just going to get intercepted by your opponent's units on their way in.
And it has a rule now to to trap people in combat with a stratagem.
It does.
It's slime
I think it
trail,
always had that.
Like heroic 6.
Not 100% sure.
It couldn't trap in combat before. I know that.
Couldn't. Okay. Yes, it can heroic 6 natively.
Yeah.
It's not a terrible unit. I just think the regenerating thing sounds way cooler than it actually is. I think most armies can just put 7 wounds on this thing.
Oh yeah, almost certainly.
Without having to go wildly out of their way.
Yep.
I think it's perfectly balanced. I don't think it's worthy offering. I don't think it's tournament staple. I don't think it's a meager offering. I think it's fine.
Perfectly balanced feels reasonable. It's a good unit. I don't think it's anything, phenomenal, but it's quite solid, I think.
It's not terrible.
Yeah.
I know I just ragged on it, but it is not bad. They are fairly durable, if not as durable as I would really like it to be.
Yep.
Like if this thing had 9 wounds at 80 points,
oh well, that would be.
It'd be a lot better.
It would be a lot better, yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, let's talk about something good.
Let's get a little hype in your eyes here. Let's get a little glint, a little warp star.
How about the biggest boy?
The biggest boy, Bellacor, Billy Goat.
Stop.
Billy Core. It's like cottage core for billy goats.
Yeah, Billy Talent.
All right, Bellacor. I'll spoil it for you. Bellacor is your favorite unit in this book?
Yes.
Okay.
In my mind, he is the best unit in the book.
Oh well, in that case, right?
Yep.
Okay, he is Jack's tournament staple.
All right, we're done. Moving on.
All right.
So let's talk about why he's the best unit in the book in my mind. So first off, he's not. They discovered a way to have a monster that hits on 2s in shooting. Well, he doesn't have a shooting attack, but hits on 2s in combat, even at full bracket, like even at lowest bracket, fully bracketed. He is a 4/4, and he's very difficult to kill. He has -1 to hit at all times, -1 to wound at all times.
Solid.
Can't ever reroll the hit rolls against him ever, and -1 damage in shooting. That dude is hard to put away.
Yeah,
he's really, really hard.
Is he actually going to be featured in a game later today?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to see why we think Bellacor is amazing, tune in to our YouTube channel later today and just see what he does.
Yep, he does decent damage, but he has every first off, he's like the only person in a generic demon army that has access to the Noctic discipline, which has some great supporting powers.
Yep.
But also he has every demon keyword and warp locus.
Yeah.
Which means that
he summons like anything.
He summons everything. Anything he wants just comes in directly next to him and charges. He also, he can also benefit from every single stratagem, every single warp storm. He unlocks every single warp storm if he's in a supreme command.
Yep.
Whatever you want, this guy does. And so the combinations, like you spend 1 on Slaanesh to make him, you can't hit him except on 4s, then you can't reroll hits because he's Slaanesh. Cool. You spend 1 on Nurgle you spend 1 CP on Nurgle to make him so he knows the entire plague discipline or whatever it's called. And then you can spend 1 on Tzeentch to make him cast an extra time. Yeah. There's just a lot of that in this book. If he kills an enemy character, he becomes an aura for Khorne, he becomes an aura of 6s to wound or mortal wounds.
He also, correct me if I'm wrong, absolutely slaps.
He does, in fact, absolutely bang.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. This dude, he's not the heaviest hitter in combat out of a lot of these, but he
do hit.
He ignores invulns. He's AP4.
Yeah, it's pretty solid. He's D3 plus 3 damage, right?
D3 plus 3, and his sweep attack
12 when he's top tier. 6 attacks weapon skill 2. He gives an aura of reroll 1s to hit.
Yes, so including himself. So he gives reroll 1s to hit to things that otherwise don't get it. Exalted Flamers. Greater Demons.
Yep.
Other Demon Princes, if you just put them in a separate detached room from him. Yeah, he makes the army hit harder because he makes them all reroll 1s where they wouldn't normally.
Absolutely.
He hits hard himself.
He does.
He's very difficult to kill.
Very tough.
He can use every kind of buff imaginable. And then on top of that, he is a warp locus for everybody.
Yeah. He also unlocks the Disciples of Bellacor Army of Renown, which lets you mix demons and Chaos Space Marines and maybe 1 knight without taking penalties, which is cool. I know that you personally weren't planning on taking that. He can be taken outside of his Army of Renown. At that point, he's just a cool dude who bops into your army list and is. If you take him, you don't put a demon prince in the detachment, and that's the cost.
Yeah, that's it.
That's it. Perfectly fine.
Cool. Yeah, no, this guy's the best unit in the book, I think. Yeah. And I think he is a total build around.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So he real good.
Yeah, he real good.
All right.
And in fact, he's my favorite thing about this book. Not even close. He's so much fun too because he can just all these little combos you can do, and that's really how I like playing the game. Is oh, I have this niche thing and this niche thing. I'm going to combine them to solve this problem that's in front of me. And it's
yeah,
cool.
because he's gonna like switch into Nurgle spells and then be +1 to cast because he's Zinch, and you're like, huh?
Oh yeah.
The Zinch model is +1 to cast the Nurgle spells.
Don't worry, he's also going to cast an extra power.
Yeah, again because he's Zinch, but he's also maybe transcendent in combat because he's Slaanesh. I'm like, All right. Ready to hit the next guy?
Love to.
All right, so this is the Khorne Herald on Bloodthrone, which he has another name.
The Rendmaster on Skullthrone.
All right, the Randomaster 5000. Talk to me about the Randomaster 5000.
Okay, so this guy went from 0 to hero.
Yeah.
He hits in combat now, and he is a 9 wound character, so you can't shoot him. He may have been before. I really don't know.
I'm sure he hit hard in combat before.
I'm sure he probably did.
Yeah.
But he's a 9 wound character with a 4-up in combat and shooting.
That is my favorite number.
Yeah, that is pretty great. He also has a ton of attacks. He has 5 attacks at strength 6, AP 3, damage 3, and he has 4 attacks at strength 6, AP 3, damage 2.
And those are malefic attacks, so they might ignore every single modifier.
They might ignore modifiers depending on the FAQ that's coming in T-minus 2 weeks, but we'll see. So, I mean, you know, that's pretty good. So he has really good damage.
Yep.
He rerolls wounds against characters and monsters.
Oh, he just does that?
Just does. Champion Slayer.
Oh, that's cool. Do all the...
Nope.
No, just him.
Just him.
Go Rendmaster.
Go Rendmaster.
All right.
He is a Lieutenant Aura for... I mean, all the Heralds are, but he is a Lieutenant Aura.
Yeah, solid.
And he picks a Bloodletter core unit within 9, so that's either... Bloodletters, or that's
Skull Crushers.
Blood Crushers.
Blood Crushers, right?
Yeah, Skull Crushers were in Warhammer Fantasy, I think. They were like...
I fully believe you.
Sure. And he gives them 6s to hit automatically wound, which helps get around their low strength. Their strength 5 against certain targets. Because there's no... You know, Black Templars, you can't do it against vehicles. It just works against everybody.
Okay, so 6 is to hit auto wound?
Yeah.
Solid. So he gives that to a core unit?
Yep.
Okay.
Bloodletter core. Yeah.
That's
so
really good.
he has 9 attacks that he just hit on 2s. He moves 8. He has a 9, 9 wounds. So he's hard to get rid of. He's toughness 7. Mm-hmm. This guy just has good stats.
4-up demon save all up.
Yeah.
How many points is he? He does sound like a good thing to have, but power level 7 means I'm guessing he's like 130, 140?
He's 140.
Okay. That's pretty solid.
Yep, 140. He is just a solid character.
Yeah. So where
I think
Scarbrand is on here. He's just further down the tier list. We will get to Scarbrand. Worry not. Saving the best for last, Tim Penny. All right. So where is the Skull Crusher 9000 going?
I think worthy offering.
Rendmaster.
Rendmaster on Skullthrone.
Okay. So we're thinking good, not making every list, but like he's a solid beatstick character.
He is a good beatstick character. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Like him. All right. We've got Blood Crushers.
Yes. This is like honestly this is probably my favorite Khorne model.
Yeah, they're
like
so
Blood
cool.
Crushers are so freaking cool. Like this is a thing I've wanted to be good for a very long time.
Yeah, the Juggernauts of Khorne are just so cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They're just so cool, and they hit really hard.
Yeah, because there's a bloodletter on the top, so it hits like a bloodletter that's strength 5.
And is +1 attack.
Oh, and +1 attack. Okay,
well,
so
they're all strength 5. All the bloodletters
cool.
are strength 5. But they have an extra attack per model, which is dope because you have fewer models. And then you have a Bladed Horn, which is 4 attacks at strength 5, AP2, damage 1, malefic, so potentially ignores armor of contempt and -1 damage, although it is already -1.
Yep.
It is already damage 1. But on the charge, strength 7.
Solid.
Yeah, they each have 7 attacks, 8 for the sergeant.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It is a lot, yeah.
Malefic 4, jeez.
Yeah, they hit.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they hit hard. They're toughness 5 with 4 wounds apiece.
4-up save all the time.
4-up save all the time, shooting and combat, which is just annoyingly difficult to get rid of.
They're like 5 points more than I like really want them to be, but they're still not they're not overpriced, they're just not cheap.
Yeah. They do have an icon and an instrument.
Yeah.
So they have access to the 3d6 pick the 2 highest charge.
Yeah.
So they're very reliable at charging out of deep strike.
How many points do they end up as per model?
So 45 per model.
Yeah.
The icon and the instrument are both free.
Mm-hmm.
And they end up being 45 per model.
Yeah. And they move 10, they're cavalry, which is one of the worst keywords in the game.
Yeah, cavalry gives you nothing.
At
and
least
also...
it's not a chariot.
Yeah.
That's what I like to say about cavalry. Boy, glad that's not a chariot. but no, they don't go through walls, so they go around them, and then they charge people on the other side.
Yes.
But Blood Crushers are pretty darn good.
Yeah, they are pretty good. They actually legitimately hit as hard as they need to be a good unit.
Yep.
I have a unit of 5 in my list later today. I decided to go a little more Khorne heavy.
I am so excited that we're getting Blood Crushers on stream.
Oh yeah, into Grey Knights. This is gonna be so.
This is
fluffy.
everything it should be.
Yeah, I think they're perfectly balanced.
Yeah, I think that they're better than the Beast and Nurgle. To me,
sure.
they feel like they're gonna be the top end of perfectly balanced.
I mean, 3 of them for 135 coming out of Deep Strike and charging is pretty decent.
Yeah, it's 22 attacks.
Yeah.
That's like, yeah, it's pretty good.
That's pretty good. If they're near Bellacor, they reroll 1s to hit. If they're near a Rendmaster or another Herald that you probably wouldn't take over a Rendmaster, they get reroll 1s to wound.
Rendmaster 5,000.
Right. So they're all Master, by the way. Blood, Skull, and Rend.
All right.
They're pretty decent.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, continue.
I was saying that we seem to be going through everything that starts with a B because we are just going through so many Khorne units at once. Do you want to keep offering up skulls, or do you want to mix up some gods here?
No, let's keep doing Khorne.
Keep doing Khorne.
I think Khorne is in a much better spot than it used to be.
I fully agree with that, and I'm happy to see it. I love Khorne's fun to play against. All right, Bloodletters.
Bloodletters are actually good now.
They're actually good. They somehow went up in points, got their unit size smaller, and I'm still like, I think I like them more than before.
Yeah, so they're like the dedicated come out of reserve and fight you unit.
Yeah.
Because they have access to the 3d6, pick the 2 highest. They are objective secured. So Nick is legitimately taking like 30 Bloodletters in his lists.
And it's not bad.
Not to do damage, although they can do that.
Yeah.
It is to trap you in combat in a 4+ and be obsec and take your objectives out of reserves.
Solid.
That's legitimately why he does it. And then they also can do some damage.
Yeah, and they're 2 attacks each with essentially a mastercrafted power sword.
Yep.
And they also, of course, because if you have the Khorne Warp Storm table unlocked, you can get them +1 attack, same as everything else. So you can get them hitting pretty darn hard.
Yes, you can. You can give them +1 to hit off Skull Taker. You can give them 6s to hit auto wound. You can give them reroll 1s to hit, reroll 1s to wound, depending on who they're near. I mean, that is some decent damage.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm a fan. I think that they're worthy.
They are worthy.
Yeah.
I don't think they're a tournament staple. There
No.
is a Troops Choice that's going in there, but I don't think it's Bloodletters. But I think they're a worthy offering. Like
I actually have them above the Randomaster 5,000.
That's probably correct.
I feel bad saying that because, like, the names. I mean, Randomaster.
On Skull Throne?
Yeah, Randomaster on Skull Throne.
On
I'm like,
Blood
oof.
Throne, sorry. Rendmaster on Blood Throne.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that is metal as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think Bloodletters are perfectly good. I think they're perfectly good.
All right, up they go.
Yep.
Let's.
That is a Bloodmaster.
Bloodmaster. I feel like a Bloodmaster is not the same connotation as like the Skull Crusher or the Bloodletter. Like a Bloodletter is spilling blood. A Blood Crusher is theoretically filling it into a vial and then putting it under a hydraulic press. But a Bloodmaster is like in charge of the blood. It feels like he's on the blood side, where everything else here is actively trying to let or crush the blood. Yeah. This doesn't add up to me.
Yeah.
No, Jack is like absolutely none of your nonsense.
Sorry, I was...
You're reading the Khorne stratagem for the charging?
Yeah.
Read the Khorne charge stratagem.
The Khorne charge strat is
a
for
chat question.
cavalry or Khorne vehicle unit.
Okay.
Select one enemy unit within engagement range and roll 1d6 for each model in the charging unit, adding 3 to the result if the charging unit is a vehicle. On a 6 to an 8, they suffer D3 mortal wounds. On a 9, they suffer D3 plus 3. So Dalton Peters read that as you add the results together. That's not how it works.
Okay, so what you would do is theoretically you need 5 Blood Crusher charges. You roll 5 dice. If none of them are 6s, clean out of luck. You spend your command point.
You spend the command point. That sucks.
If you get 2 6s, 2 D3 mortal wounds.
Exactly.
So I would rather it be like 5 ups for 1 immortal than 6 ups for D3.
Honestly, I think 5 ups for 1 and 6 for D3 are both ones I would just not spend a CP on.
Yeah, I just want it to be more consistent, and
it would have to be like
it's cool on vehicles, kind of.
No, because you need it's a 3+. They take D3 mortal wounds.
Not
even a 2+.
There are times. You ever have a 4-wound Nightbringer? Come on.
Yeah, I mean there are times you'll do it, but
yeah,
it's decent to have in your back pocket when you're desperation trying to break a phase cap, but it's not that great of a stratagem, unfortunately.
Yep. All right, so the Bloodmaster. He's a Khorne Herald on foot. He, I assume, comes with a generic Lieutenant aura.
He does.
He bops pretty hard in combat. He's damage 3, right?
He is damage 3. He is strength 6, AP 3, damage 3, 5
Solid.
attacks.
Yeah, weapon skill 2.
4 up in both phases, but 4 wounds.
Just 4 wounds?
Oh yeah, the Herald.
This man's less wounds than like a Death Jester.
Yeah.
The Blood Master.
He
Absolutely pathetic.
Maybe he's master of his own blood after you cut him in half. I don't know.
Okay.
He also has the pick a unicorn bloodletter core, and then they get a 6 to hit auto wound.
This guy had better be like 60 points.
I don't think he is.
No, I don't either.
Blood Master is 90.
All right, he is not cheaper enough than a Chad Randmaster. That like,
Yeah, he's so much worse than.
he's so much worse than a Randmaster. And how much? There is another one.
The Skull Master.
Right.
Right.
How much is the Skullmaster? The
130.
Okay, so barely cheaper than the Throne. Yeah, I don't know. This guy just 4 wounds for a 90-point character who's really just a combat dude.
He screams meager offering to me.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
honestly, he's close to banish back to the warp, but he does give buffs.
He does.
He's just so overpriced for 4 wound model, 90 points. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, not a fan of that one.
He's not even close to the Renmaster 9000.
No, he is certainly not the Randmaster 9000. That guy's meager.
Okay, so we've got the Bloodthirster. There's now only one variant.
Yeah,
of
there
the
used to be
Bloodthirster.
several, so we're just going to use one of them.
Yep, and you can give it the 2 weapon options. So you can either give it a...
It's a big axe and a whip, or a big axe and a flail, or a big axe.
Yeah, an even bigger axe.
The big thick axe.
Yeah, I think the big thick axe is still the best choice.
Yeah.
Because what you get is... So, the Bloodthirster. I'm actually a big fan of this.
Yeah, you love the Bloodthirster. You
Bloodthirster
are on the hype train.
Bops.
Yep.
This dude is movement 12, weapon skill, ballistic skill 2. The ballistic skill stays the same as he degrades, not his weapon skill.
Not his attacks
very
either.
annoying.
His
not
attacks go 8, 7, 8. His weapon skill goes 2, 3, 4.
Luckily, there is an upgrade to count as double wounds for purpose of degradation. Otherwise, he would drop probably a whole tier in my eyes. I think that one's just necessary because he degrades so poorly.
Yeah.
So he has strength 8, toughness 8, 20 wounds, 8 attacks base, 4 up in both phases, leadership 10 for whatever that matters.
Good for him.
And he can either
Higher than Scarbrand.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. The
This
unnamed...
guy is still in Khorne's favor. Scarbrand, not in Khorne's favor.
No, he's not.
No. So the Bloodthirster his stats are great. His stats are great. And his melee weapon is strength. So if you take the Great Axe, which is what I recommend, he has strength 16, AP4 damage, D3 plus 3.
Solid.
And if he makes his sweeping attacks, he's strength 8, AP3 damage 2 with 16 attacks.
All right, so we know that a Bloodthirster, the Greater Demon of Khorne, continues to hit hard in combat.
Yes.
What makes you like him now more than you did before?
So you can stack things on him. So I think the Blood Flail and the Hellfire Breath... he has a Hellfire Breath, which I forgot to use against you. But the Blood Flail and the Lash of Khorne are both not it.
Yep.
And they make his melee weapon actually terrible.
Fair enough.
Compared to what you're paying for him. What I like is the fact that he has access to probably the best warlord trait in the book.
Okay.
Which is a 5-up feel no pain.
That is real good on a big boy.
On a 20 wound model, yeah, that's real good.
Big, thick boy.
Big boy.
Doug wants to know, maybe he bops, but does he slap or bang?
Oh, he bangs.
He bangs.
Oh, he bangs.
Yeah. The Bloodthirster bangs. That's what the B stands for.
Yep. So you take the count as double wounds for your characteristics, so otherwise you get degraded really bad. And then you take the 5-up feel no pain to make those 20 wounds with a 4-up, 4-up. Very annoying to get through.
Yep.
And then, if you really feel like it, you take Blood Drinker Talisman to heal every time you kill a model on a 5+. You heal a wound.
To be clear, you do feel like?
Oh, yeah.
You do feel
I
like
feel that way.
All right.
This guy is an absolute menace to deal with.
Yeah.
I got roasted yesterday by John's Tyrannid list, and yet the Bloodthirster rampaged through half his army.
Yeah, the Bloodthirster was a big bat-sized problem.
Yeah, there was just nothing you could do about it.
Okay.
You could throw your entire army at it, maybe not kill it, and then the rest of my army is free to do whatever.
If I throw my whole army at it, I'm pretty sure he's dead. I just didn't want to, stand in front of the rest of your army.
Yeah, because he gives you the option. Do you want to put all of your damage into the Bloodthirster? Mm-hmm. Probably kill him. Or would you like to deal with the other stuff in my army? And the answer is never throw your damage into the Bloodthirster, which means he just craters his way through your opponent's army.
Yeah, and the one with the Blood Drinker Talisman, to be clear, we are calling Morbius. It's Morbin time, Jack.
John.
It's Morbin time.
John, I hate you.
It's Morbin time, Jack. I mean, literally every time you use him against me, I will use this until you decide it's no longer worth taking him.
I like him, though. I don't want to stop taking him.
Yeah.
He's also an amazing combination with Bellacor because he doesn't get shot coming up the board. Bellacor runs up, drops the Bloodthirster right in
6
front of
inches
your
away.
army and charges. And in fact, a lot of the time he'll be closer than 6 because you can leadership modify and just get it.
And you can still have the Bloodthirster as your warlord if you include Bellacor, because Bellacor doesn't have to be your warlord unless he's Disciples of Bellacor.
Or in a Supreme Command.
Or well, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So also at the end of the fight phase, you just pick a unit that you're in engagement range of, and on 2 up they take D3 mortals, which is like shockingly good every time it comes up.
Where is this man going?
It's Tournament Staple.
Tournament Staple.
Tournament Staple.
Should we rename Tournament Staple to Absolutely Bops?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right. No longer a Tournament Staple. All right, cool.
Absolutely bops.
Absolutely
The
bops.
other Bloodthirster, you see that guy with the whippy and the axie? You can put him in perfectly balanced because he is much worse.
Yeah, I guess. I'm gonna just put him at the bottom. He doesn't deserve to get ranked. We don't need to put 3 Bloodthirsters on. All right, there he goes.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't. We will have the named ones too.
Blue horrors.
All right, blue horrors, like pink horrors, but smaller and blue. They're pretty cheap. They're 70 points, 10 models. They're like the actual only mandatory troop choice you can take. And
what?
They're the only cheap mandatory troop.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Yeah, because like Nurglings, like you are cheaper, but then like they never fill a slot, so it doesn't matter. But they're 4-up save. They can still split into brims. They do shoot for
not really. There's 2 shots at strength 3, AP 1, damage 1.
Again, not a lot, but they do have a gun.
When you shoot worse than a las gun,
that is strictly better than a las gun.
The las gun auto wounds on 6s to hit.
AP 1. I'd rather have las guns.
Yeah, you totally would rather just give the blue horrors las guns. Here you go, chief.
If I could get the rules that come with it, yeah.
They also don't perform actions, and they don't have OBSEC.
Yeah, they don't get OBSEC?
No, they don't get OBSEC.
Yeah, that sucks. I knew that they didn't get actions. Yeah, they're cheap. They're cheerful. They sit on the back line and screen without raising a banner.
They are good being still a unit you don't want to shoot at.
And specifically, they're good being the cheapest troop choice by a pretty decent amount.
Yes. By the way, I might legitimately just not take Blood Drinker Talisman and take something else. Just so that you don't say it's Morbin time every time he goes in.
You can't be stopped, Jack.
Like I will take. You can also take the +1 damage and sweep attacks are damage 3. It's
that's cool.
Not probably as good, but I'll do it just so you stop. Just so you stop.
All right.
Blue horrors.
Blue horrors.
They are good because they're 70 points. They're still really obnoxious to shoot at.
Yeah.
I think they're worthy offering.
I was gonna say perfectly balanced actually, because like they are much worse than the other troops, but they are much cheaper. I could go worthy offering if you think that they're a little better.
I think the much cheaper does help them a lot.
Okay.
I think if they were more than 70 points for a troop slot in this book for something that just hangs out in the back, screens your backfield, and holds an objective, well away from anything that would attempt to objective secure it away.
Yep. Not terrible.
Perfectly reasonable.
Okay.
All right. Brimstone horrors don't exist.
Yep. So they're going at the bottom of things that can't be taken separately anymore.
You can split blue horrors and pink horrors into them, and it's free now, so you will. Mm-hmm. And it's a good part of why blue horrors and pink horrors are good.
Yes, absolutely.
But you can't take them by themselves.
All right. A burning chariot. This exalted flamer who is sitting on a chariot.
Yes.
How do you feel about him?
Love them.
Love him.
Love them. Think they're great.
Okay.
I don't think I don't think they absolutely bop. But they are good. They have good stats.
Yeah.
So people
shoot pretty well.
People in chat think that no OBSEC means that it's not as good. I agree. I think you only take 1.
Yeah.
Because that one strings out and just blocks off your backfield. And it's cheap. And having a cheap unit in this book is really nice because there are not that many.
I'll admit I had them in a perfectly balanced slot, but like you've been building more demon lists than I have. I can accept worthy offerings instead.
Yeah, I mean, I think most demon lists don't have a lot of troops in general. I think that probably turns into just being pinks, but that's not Blue Horror's fault. That's the fact that pinks are amazing.
That's fair.
All right, so the Burning Chariot is toughness 6, 9 wounds, not a character, 4 up in both phases. You can purchase a 5-point upgrade for -1 to cast fewer than 12 inches of it, which you probably will not. It has 3 shots at strength 9, AP 4, damage 3. Or at 18-inch range, or 2d6 shots at strength 6, AP 2, damage 1. It has 6 screamer bites, and it has 4 nonsense attacks.
Yeah, so it flies around. It's 14, T6, 9 wounds, 4-up save all the time, and it shoots pretty respectably. How many points is this thing?
120.
That's It's a pretty decent number. Like, that's not free, but it's also not that expensive for what it has.
Yeah, I find it hard to actually include these in my army just because I run out of points on things that are better than them. But, like, their stats are good.
Yeah. I think that they're, like, perfectly balanced. They're probably better than the Beast of Nurgle.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely better than Beast of Nurgle. They're better than the Blood Crushers, too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think they are perfectly balanced. But you can make just a gunline Tzeentch list. There's 3 of these, 3 Exalteds, etc.
It is weird to me that a Burning Chariot has a worse save than an Exalted Flamer. Sometimes. Yeah, when you shoot them, it's easier to shoot than the Exalted
He also
Flamer.
doesn't get reroll ones to hit off Bellacor because he's a vehicle.
Ah.
Yeah, that does suck.
Okay.
All right, let's go to a change caster.
Yes, the walking Herald of Tzeentch.
That's right.
Just a dude.
Just a dude, 80 points, knows 2 powers, casts 2 powers, is very good at...
He's good at what he does.
He's good at what he does, which is he casts +1 wound on your flamers, and he casts retain 2 warp storm points.
Yeah.
And that's what he does.
Or he could be a psychic action guy.
He could be a psychic action guy, although I'd probably take a guy on a disc for that.
Yeah, he's a little slow. He only moves 6, but, it's not terrible. A walking footcaster, at least he does good support spells.
He gives horrors 6s to hit, automatically wound in combat.
Oh, that's not the right thing.
Not a place you want them to be.
No.
He gives them reroll wound rolls of 1, which is cute, but I think the horror...
All core, I assume?
All core, so that means that he gives it to Flamers, because the Tzeentch, the pink horrors shooting is pretty garbage. And you also don't want them on the front lines, because that's when their invuln goes bad. Or they're non-invuln. I think he's a great support caster. I think he's a worthy offering, because he has 2 powers that are great, and you want them. Yeah. And he's cheap. And he also can get a Staff of Change, which is a great shooting weapon.
Yeah, he's going above the blue horrors for me.
That is 100% correct.
The blue horrors, I'm still going to sneak them into perfectly balanced.
I think he's better than the Ren Master, too, because I'm much closer to including him in my list.
The Ren Master, 5,000?
9,000.
5,000.
So
8,000, really.
He is garbage in combat, which is okay.
Yeah.
He can replace his melee weapon for 5 points with 3 shots, strength 7, AP 4, damage 2, which you will take, because that is a decent gun. If you're 5 points over, you'll cut it. But otherwise, I think you include him. He's 85 points, and he comes with 2 great powers.
Okay.
Yep, that's all you need.
Let's get a little Slanesh in here. We haven't touched my favorite god yet.
The Contorted Epitome.
It's not what it used to be at all, but it's still not bad.
It's not. It's not bad. It is probably a little overpriced, but it does some cool stuff.
Yep.
It gives you some support, which is great. It is cavalry, which is kind of annoying. It is a character at 8 wounds, which is good. It moves 12, weapon skill 2, bliss skill 3, strength 4, toughness 5, 8 wounds, 8 attacks, leadership 8 with a 4-up in both phases.
And then 3 more Malefic attacks.
3 more Malefic attacks at strength 5, AP 2, damage 3, which is pretty good.
Solid, yeah.
We'll see what Malefic ignores. Blanket thing. If we say a Malefic weapon, there is the possibility it ignores armor, contempt, and -1 damage. There is the possibility it does not. We shall find out.
Yeah, we really don't know what GW's thought process was there. Like, rules is written, it seems that you ignore everything. But we don't know if GW meant for you to ignore armor contempts. I'm guessing that because one is for Space Marines and one is for a filthy non-Imperium army, that it's not meant to ignore Space Marines. But you know what? We'll find out what GW thinks.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see. So it has 8 attacks at strength 4, AP 2, damage 2, which is not bad into some profiles.
Yeah.
Every time it loses a wound as a result of Immortal, and 2 up, no you don't, which is pretty cool.
It's great for soaking mortals.
You can stick it in front of a Grey Knight's army, and it will see the shooting phase.
That is... Sure will see that shooting phase.
It sure will.
Its eyes are going to light up when it sees that shooting phase. Like, oh, mama.
It will survive to make the shooting phase.
Yep.
It is a Lieutenant Aura for Slanesh Core, which is pretty cool. And when an enemy unit is within 6 inches at the start of your opponent's command phase, they roll 3d6. If it's higher than their leadership, they have their move and -1 to hit for the rest of the turn.
Yeah, that's really cool, but I don't love it.
No, I don't love it either. It's 160 points, if I remember correctly.
That's too many.
I do. It is too many. It does some cool things.
I think it is way overpriced.
But it is like 40 points overpriced. It knows 2 powers, casts 2 powers.
But it lost its +1 to cast.
It did.
I think it is better than the Bloodmaster.
I think it is. I think it's definitely better than the Bloodmaster, but it is just pretty overpriced, like 30 points minimum.
Yeah.
Overpriced.
Yeah, it's not. It just doesn't do as much as it used to, which is fine. It doesn't need to do everything it used to do, but it didn't go down significantly for getting a lot of cool stuff taken away.
Yep. All right, let's go to...
Is this Korvax's Utter Blight time?
This sure is Korvax's Utter Blight.
Oh, buddy.
Oh, boy.
This is TA8, 12 wounds, and a 6-up save. I'm sure there's a demon save coming.
it's demonic, so I think he just comes with a 5 of pinfall, which literally he does not anymore. But
yeah, but we're gonna just assume that you keep that until GWFAQs himself.
He just has disgustingly resilient, which also doesn't do anything right now.
Dude, it is rough out there, man. Okay.
Yeah. The rules, they be gone.
Okay.
You start the fight phase. You pick an enemy model, engagement range, roll a d6. If it's higher than their wounds, they're destroyed. If they lose a wound from an attack damage characteristic of 1 on a 4+, nah, they don't. It's toughness 8. When it's destroyed on a 4+, they explode, and non-Nurgle units within D3 inches take D3 mortal wounds. They just couldn't explode in a normal way.
D3 inches.
Yeah.
Does he like have any special rules that do a thing besides explode?
No. He has 5 attacks at strength 7, AP3, damage 3.
Yeah.
Would you like to pull up what this guy does? He knows 2 psychic powers from the Nurgle discipline, which I assume is just going to be the whatever the Nurgle discipline is called.
Yeah.
It's
he's not like that expensive. He's just not that cheap. He's 180.
Yeah, he's a demon prince that can be shot.
Yeah, no, it's not good.
Also moves 8. He does know 2, cast 2, which is pretty dope because the only one that does that is the Great Unclean one right now. But he is so easy to kill.
Yikes. Yeah, so Daemonic it is still a rule. It's what gives the -1 leadership and attrition.
Oh, cool. So he doesn't have an invul anymore.
No, he's a 6 up armor save.
Yeah,
he can be shot.
Banish him back to the warp from
Oh no.
If he gets an invuln back, he gets to be a meager offering.
Yeah. Oh no. That's a little sad.
All right.
Let's rank a normal demon prince. Just a regular guy.
God, they wish they were Bellacor.
Don't we all?
Yeah.
Yeah. But a demon prince is still pretty good.
Yeah, demon prince is not bad.
It's an 8 wound character, much better than 12. It turns out.
Yes, actually.
Weirdest thing.
Demonic save, 5 up, 4 up. You can make him either Khorne, Tzeentch, Nurgle, or Slaanesh. He gets psychic powers. If he's Tzeentch, he knows 2. He has decent combat. 6 attacks. You probably take the sword.
And he can access like any god and any relic situation is kind of what he's good at.
And he gives core within 6 inches, reroll hit rolls of 1. And then if he's Tzeentch, he knows an extra power, cast an extra power. If he's Nurgle, he's toughness 7, which is not the best breakpoint. If he's Slaanesh, he moves 2 inches further. And if he's Khorne, which is actually my favorite, he is +1 strength, +2 attacks.
That is a lot of extra attacks. He's 6 attacks normally, so Khorne makes him 8 attacks.
Yep, and then he gets 1 with his Talon.
Yep.
Which, even though it's called Malefic Talons, is not a Malefic weapon.
Yes, it's slightly confusing, but fair enough.
Yes.
Really, I just like that there's a couple different relic weapons he can get across the various gods. Like there's a Nurgle relic he can take where he ignores phase caps and feeling pains.
Yeah, phase caps and feeling pains, and then he's +1 damage. Yeah,
and he's +1.
So he's damage 4.
Yeah, and then there's a Khorne relic. What is it? Angrath, the King of Blades.
Argath, the King of Blades, which makes ignores hit and wound modifiers and +1 damage. And if he's Khorne, that means he's making 8 attacks with this thing. He's basically your dedicated Bellacor killer.
Yeah, and he gets his strength 8 at that point, and he just
strength 9.
Yeah,
because if he's Khorne, he's +1 strength.
Yeah, he's strength 7 normally,
and then +1 for the sword.
Okay,
and then +1 for Khorne.
Okay, so strength 9 ignores wound modifiers.
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's actually pretty good coming out of... he's basically Diet Bloodthirster, right? He's not nearly as survivable, and he doesn't absorb all the damage. But coming out of reserves to hit something and kill something...
Hits almost as hard, can't be shot.
Almost as hard is actually the right way to put it.
Yeah.
8 attacks versus 8 attacks.
Always weapon
9,
skill 2.
AP 3, damage 4 versus strength
12.
8 or strength 16.
Oh, okay.
AP 4, damage D3 +3.
Yeah, that is slightly less hard hitting, but still not what I want for breakfast.
Doesn't have the sweep attack, which the Bloodthirster really likes.
True.
But he is Diet Bloodthirster. I mean, he is legitimately almost 200 points cheaper if you take him without wings.
I think he's pretty good.
I think he's pretty good. He's literally just, I deep strike in and I assassinate something. And that is totally worth it. And then you can also just, defend him.
Yeah.
You know, because he's a character, you can just prevent him from being shot if you charge in alongside him.
Absolutely.
And pull cute plays. I think he's a worthy offer.
I think he's worthy.
He's also just slots into any list.
That is a really convenient thing, is that anyone can take him and he just can be any god and he'll be pretty good no matter what.
Yeah.
All right. Demonets.
They're not bad.
They're not bad. Again, they lost advance in charge, which made me sad, but they moved 10. They are not that expensive. I think they're the cheapest of the OBSEC troop choices.
I believe they're 120.
And they can do the deep strike charge thing almost as well as Bloodletters, and they are still OBSEC. They're fast. They have a lot of attacks. They're 4 attacks each, 5 on the sergeant. Like,
there's a spell to make them +1 attack, exploding 6s to hit. They
Yeah.
1 CP reroll hits.
Yeah.
They hit.
they can be an incredible volume.
They bang. But do they bop?
I don't think they bop.
I don't think they bop.
I think that they're literally, to me, they are alternative bloodletters. The one thing that makes them worse is that they can't 3d6 charge. So you kind of need a Locust for me to feel good about the deep strike.
But to be fair, Slaanesh have the best Locust in the game that isn't Bellacor.
Yes. They have the best god Locust.
Yes. Which is just the Infernal and Rapturous, which is a character you can protect.
Absolutely.
And just wander up the board, deep striking in Slaanesh at you, which I think is how you build
Yeah.
Slaanesh. Is you literally include 2 Infernal and Rapturouses, and you just start deep striking willy-nilly at them.
Willy-nilly. That's where I like to go.
And I think in that build, I think they are very good. Are they
think
better
so.
than Bloodletters? They're very similar.
I think that they're very similar. I'm going to put them slightly below. You have weight of attacks, but your damage 1 and less AP. But you do weight better than Bloodletters. You're a little cheaper than Bloodletters. You don't deep strike charge as reliably as Bloodletters.
Not quite as reliably.
Not quite as reliably.
But Bloodletters don't have access to the Enrapturous.
Nope. So for me, neck and neck.
Or as Nick says, the Entrapturous.
Yeah. Oh boy. Anyways, I'm gonna go right below Bloodletters. It's
Yeah.
still a very strong unit, worthy offering. And the thing is that with all these worthy offering troops, you're not gonna take all of them.
Yeah,
Like,
you're gonna
choose the one that fits your list best. But like legitimately, good play out of Demonets.
like they are good, and I think pure Slaanesh with multiple Enrapturouses, just bringing in Slaaneshi units right in front of you is going to be a build, and I think it's good.
All right. We haven't touched a ton of Nurgle yet. You ready for Epidemius? Yeah. Yeah. Let's find out what the tally does.
Yeah, they did my boy dirty on this one.
I know Nurgle likes being done dirty. Epidemius got done dirty.
He got done grimy.
Yeah.
It's real not good.
Yeah,
so he has
it's getting real slimy in here.
Reroll 1s to wound aura.
Solid. That is a Herald.
All of the Heralds and the Sloppity Biopiper and the Spoilpox Scrivener have. So this is not unique. You can get this anywhere.
Okay. What else does he do?
He does not cast any powers. Glad you asked.
Okay. Cool.
His combat is not great.
Yeah. Okay.
So what he does is
what else does he do?
Tally. Keep tally of how many enemy models are destroyed by attacks made by Nurgle units from your army. Start of each battle round. If you have 7 or more marks in the tally, you gain an additional Warp Storm point and go to 0.
So every turn that you kill 7 models.
No. It does hold from turn to turn.
Okay.
So like you probably get like 2 Warp Storm points off this boy.
Yeah.
3. Maybe?
If you're going pure Nurgle, you can try to get a lot more. But like the problem is that if you kill like 30 models in 1 turn, you get 1 point and reset to 0.
Yes.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
Like he's slow.
He doesn't do anything else.
Anything else. If he was a support caster in addition to that, this would be like interesting.
Yeah. If he knew one, cast one, awesome. But he just doesn't. He doesn't know any psychic powers. I think he may have used to, but I don't remember.
I don't recall if he did before.
I kind of skipped the last demon book.
No,
I played the demon book before that.
He did used to, because you used to put him next to Gretchen and cast Nurgle's Rot to kill the Gretchen and up the tally.
Oh, okay. I never did that.
Oh, yeah, no, you ally in Gretchen, and then you cast an area of effect spell that hits all enemy units, and they're an enemy unit because they were, like, inconvenient allies.
Oh, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah,
Like, he would sit in the middle of, like, 30 Gretchen, kill them all, and then your, like, Nurgle tally would go whoop, 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 whoop.
Yeah, so this guy is
no, he is
good. He has 7 attacks at strength 2 AP 0.
Yeah.
And 4 attacks at strength 5 AP 3 damage 2 that automatically win on 6s to hit.
He has 7 attacks at strength 2 AP 0.
Correct.
Jesus. Well, good thing they're malefic though, so you can't change that AP dash damage 1. Thank goodness.
Woo!
Oh god.
Yes, so he is pretty bad. He also has 90 points.
90 points is, at least he's not like hideously expensive. He just doesn't do anything for 90
He
points.
literally does. I mean, he's Astroturga.
Yeah, like
meager offering. Get him in meager.
Oh god, he's the bottom of it though. Like,
yeah, he is
bottom.
real bad.
Yikes.
He's not like a 600. He's not a 650 point Lord of Change level of bad, but like he's not good.
Mm-hmm. No, he's going back to the warp. This guy sucks. Like he's going to the bottom.
I'm not defending Epidemius.
Straight to the bottom. Send him to hell.
Turbo bad.
Yeah, that's rough, man. Holy crap. There's plenty of good things.
He's toughness 6 with 9 wounds, but like, what does that
I
matter?
don't care.
Who cares?
I don't care.
You know who's toughness 7 with 9 wounds? Horticulus Slimex.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
All right. Let's talk about the Exalted Flamer. He's pretty balanced on a disc, like on this whole chariot. But it turns out that if you take him off the chariot, He becomes a character that you can't shoot at.
Oh, but he can shoot at you.
Weird that he's not a character on a chariot, but off a chariot he is a character.
That is odd.
That is weird. Right? Actually,
he's the only...
Just double check. The Burning Chariot...
Oh, no, it's not a character.
Okay, just had to make sure.
Oh, if it was a character, it would absolutely bop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because you just character protect it and shoot.
Yeah. So before we wax on the Exalted Flamer, let's talk about this super chat from Shackleton Mangram. For $5, which of the greater demons win a duel with the Avatar of Cain? The unfortunate answer is most of them, but it is assuredly not Fate Weaver.
Definitely not Fate Weaver.
Nope.
Although he has 2d3 damage, which is cute.
Yeah, with his like 1 attack weapon skill 7.
I think Bloodthirster and Scarbrand can, although it's not fun, because half damage and then the Avatar of Cain does hit back hard.
He do.
I think the Super Bloodthirster does do it because he's so durable.
Yeah, he wound strength 14 or 16?
16.
So he hits on 2s, he wounds on 2s. The top tier 5 feel no pain means it's going to take a while for the Avatar to really get him down. And he's just going to be swinging. Probably the big boy does.
D3 plus 3 also means 3 wounds every time you fail a save.
Yeah.
So on average, I mean, it could be 4. I mean, it could be 2. I mean,
could be 2.
Could be 2.
Yeah, on a 3+ though. It's yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think the Bloodthirsters get it. I think Bellacor gets it, but if the Avatar rolls real good and he rolls real bad, it could be bad because it's just -1 to hit, -1 to wound.
Yeah.
So like,
I think a keeper would probably lose that fight because of the half damage.
Yeah, a lot of their attacks are damage 3. Well, it goes to 2.
It's not bad.
You get 7 through.
Yeah, it's gonna take a minute.
Yeah, and the Avatar just needs to get a couple through to kill the keeper.
Yeah,
because the keeper does not 20 wounds, toughness 8 with a 5 feel of pain. Mm-hmm. So I think Scarbrand probably gets it because he ignores the invuln.
Oh yeah, Scarbrand a hundo gets it.
Yeah. The Super Bloodthirster will take a couple rounds to get it, but we'll get it. And I think that Bellacor probably gets it, although if the Avatar just rolls good, it's 3s to hit.
If the fate dice are there,
oh boy.
Yeah, it just starts chopping.
Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, Exalted Flamers. It's like a Burning Chariot on foot. That's a character and cheaper.
And 75 points.
And it shoots.
It shoots hard.
Yeah.
It has 2d6 shots at strength 6 AP 2 damage 1, auto hits, or 3 shots at 18 inches, strength 9 AP 4 damage 3, which is
really good.
Really good guns. Bellacor gives them reroll 1s to hit. Mm-hmm. And can't have a relic or roller trait, whatever. Gives Flamers within 6 inches +1 strength.
Just all Flamers?
On their friendly Flamers unit.
So he gets
each time they
strength.
make attack with their flickering flames.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was about to say like he's
he's
one of those.
Yeah. So he makes Flamers strength 6 like he is.
Yep.
Which is also incredible. I think he bops.
Yeah, I think this guy's really good.
They're cheap. They shoot hard.
Cheap characters that are infantry move fast, fly because he moves 10 flies.
Yes, and he also does actions incredibly well because you can't shoot him.
Yep, and he, if you want him to, just pokes las cannons at people. He's only 18-inch range, so he's not. I don't think that you actually need to just take 3 of them in every list. I don't believe that, but he is really good.
If you want to take 3 of them, it's super worth it.
Yeah, the chat seems to think he's worthy. I actually think he bops.
I think he bops.
I think he's gonna be the bottom end of bopping, but he is still a bopping.
He bops. He bops.
All right,
trust me, he bops.
How about a Fate Skimmer?
Actually, I think this one's real good too.
Yeah, it's a strong to the last choice, and
yeah. Well, it's really good on While We Stand, While We Fight.
yeah, While We Stand. Yeah, so the Fate Skimmer.
Fate Skimmer is my favorite of the Heralds of Tzeentch, although I think all 3 are worth it in different roles. Yep. I think the Foot guy casts his 2 powers, and you're happy just you took him. I think the Fate Skimmer is a little more aggressive because there are 2 really good offensive psychic powers in Tzeentch.
Yes.
Really, top tier offensive psychic powers.
Absolutely.
Infernal Gateway and Bolt of Change are both nutty damaging powers.
Yep.
And he can take both, and he can cast both, and for 5 points he gets +1 to cast.
Okay, I'm about it.
For 5 points he also gets the Staff of Change, that is really good.
Yep.
And because he's a Herald, he 1 CP teleports around.
Yep.
So you just literally teleport him around the board, just being like, here's a bunch of mortal wounds, here's a bunch of mortal wounds, here's a bunch of mortal wounds.
I'm about it. He's 140.
Yep.
2 really good 5-point upgrades make him a realistic 150.
Yep.
That's how I would run him.
Yeah, that's how I run him too. I think he is good enough that he's like single-handedly pushes the Lord of Change down a full tier.
Dang.
Because he does what the Lord of Change, what you want from the Lord of Change, he does.
Yeah.
Which is he just moves around, he casts psychic powers at 18 inches, and you rely on having other stuff in front of that. Yeah. And he is very good.
Yeah, I am a big fan of the
Fate Skimmer.
The Fate Skimmer.
You actually have him in your list for Thursday.
I am playing one in the War Room tomorrow against Richard's Tau. I think the Fate Skimmer is awesome. I love having a caster with +1 to cast.
I love teleporting him around.
Good psychic character. Yeah, you
just find little angles where here's a ton of mortal wounds.
Yep, really solid.
Yeah, it's rolled 9 dice. Every 5 is a mortal wound. Every model that kills is a mortal wound. Against single wound units, that's 6 mortal wounds on average.
Yep.
That's crazy.
Yep.
And the other one is D3 mortals with an aura of another D3 mortals to enemies. That's also really crazy.
Love that for him.
Yeah, so I think he bops. Mm-hmm. I think he does actually bop.
You think he's bopping?
I think he's bopping.
Okay. So
he might be absolutely top of worthy offering.
I was going to say I think he's a top worthy offering. He's really good.
He's really good. It's the 1 CP teleport that gets me.
Yeah, and he is also he's faster is the big thing. That he moves 14.
He moves 14. He just finds exactly 18 inches and drops a bunch of mortal wounds and just does that.
I
turn
like
after
fast
turn after
cycles, like just to deliver the mortals wherever they need to be.
Yeah.
I would still say he's top of worthy offerings.
That's fine.
But he's really good.
But I like him, so top of worthy offerings, bottom of bops. I think he bops.
Yeah. All right. We'll say he bops.
Just because he's super cool, and like the top of one, bottom of the other is basically the same thing. So.
Yeah. All right. Fiends.
Fiends, I think, are very good.
Fiends are awesome. Fiends are one of my favorite Slaanesh units. Slaanesh is again my favorite god. What a sad day to have that. But Fiends are really solid. They're what 35 points. T4, 4 wounds, 4-up save, and sometimes a 5-up. They're pretty good in combat. They're very fast. They move 14. They lost some of the special rules they had before, unfortunately. They no longer have the trap and combat ability. Yeah. Instead, they are -1 to be hit in combat.
Yeah, well, not even -1 to be hit. If you're in engage range, you're -1. So if you attack anything else, -1 to be hit. And if you shoot them in combat, -1 to be hit.
Fair point.
Yeah. These guys are great. Weapon skill 3, they hit. They have 4 attacks apiece. You can cast the power on them for them to be +1 attack and exploding 6s to hit.
Yep, solid. Yeah, they are a core unit, so they benefit from all of the core buffs that you can get from the various heralds.
Yeah, they just have good stats. Yeah. They're 35 points per model.
They're pretty good sets. They're pretty fast. I don't think that their sets are so crazy that they're like a must take.
No,
they're solid.
They're definitely good. And you're in Rapturous, and Rapturous can bring 1 back a turn. You can give them a 5-up Feel No Pain, which is pretty good.
Yep.
And they have 1 Malefic attack at strength 5, AP 3, damage 3.
Yeah.
So they have, if you cast the power on them, they'll have 6 attacks, so exploding 6s to hit.
I'm a big fan.
That's a lot.
So
I think they're a worthy offering and like the very top of it.
I don't think that they're better than the troops.
Okay. I think they're better than Demonets. Fiends make me want to play Slaanesh more than Demonets want me.
That's fair. Yeah. I could go in between the two here. I have them as Bloodletters still.
Maybe. I don't even know about that, to be honest. 175 for 5 of these boys just showing up and gaining a 5-up Feel No Pain is deeply irritating.
It is deeply chunky. I do. So I love them and I'm very excited for them. We have like 3 models right now. However, we have 9 nuanced sprues, so we're gonna get there.
We're gonna get there.
I want to get some Slaanesh on here.
All right, let's go to the probably the best, most improved unit from book to book.
Yeah, Flamers of Tzeentch are cranked. They're wild.
They're insane.
Yeah, they are really good shooting it. So this is a 25-point model. That's T4, 3 wounds. Has a 3-up demon save against shooting, but a 6-up in combat. So
yes.
Let's be clear, they don't like getting charged. They have an amazing flamer. They fly, they move 12 inches. They're infantry, and
it's assault.
It's assault, so they can advance and shoot. Oh, you haven't even done that to me yet.
Yeah.
So their flamer, just to be clear, it's 12 inches, strength 5, AP 2, assault D6 plus 3.
Yeah, I mean,
like they're an incredible unit.
They're an incredible unit, and they're so easy to buff too. You can take them up to strength 6 by just on their flamers by just being near an exalted flamer, easy enough. You can cast the power on them to make them +1 strength, so that would take them up to strength 7 if that's the thing you want to do. You do not have to. Mm-hmm. You also cast a power on them to make them +1 to wound in their shooting attacks.
Yeah,
and they make a million flamer hits. And they also can spend CP, 1 for a 3-man squad, 2 for anything else. And they minimum 9 on each of their shots against 11 mile or more unit.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, yeah, 54. off a 6-man.
Oh my god, I forgot about how many CP is that?
2 for anything higher than a 3-man flamer unit.
That is so many.
Yeah, it's so many shots.
It's so many shots.
It's so many shots. These things are ludicrously tough for 25 points.
Yeah.
They are somehow the cheapest wound per point, like almost in the book.
They're one of the cheapest.
Blue Horrors, Nurglings.
Yeah, they're very cheap.
Yeah, they're very cheap. So
they overwatch super well.
They overwatch incredibly, and they shoot so hard. They're probably the best unit to just bring in off a Warp Locust. They're definitely better than the Bloodthirster. They are.
They're
them
incredible.
and Bellacor make the book for me.
Yeah, we could argue one or two. I could very easily hear an argument that they're better than Bellacor. I like Bellacor for what he does for a build, because Flamers just do Flamer things. They are just themselves.
Yeah.
Bellicor does a little more for the army, so I'll keep them as one, but Flamers are incredible. If you don't have them, go see our sponsors at Warpfire Minis, and go get them.
Yeah, I think in terms of the best unit for itself in the book, this is a clear winner.
Yeah, absolutely. Flamers are insane damage. I forgot that strat.
Yeah.
I'm going to use that tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to use that so hard tomorrow.
Yeah, because he has 15 model crisis suits.
That's exactly what I'm using it. Yep.
Whoosh!
Whoosh, whoosh.
Yeah, you win them on
brother.
2s, reroll 1s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have the strength buffs, unfortunately.
You don't have Exalted?
Nope.
Sad.
I know. Me too, buddy.
Sad.
Also sad.
Sad.
Yeah, still, wow.
Yeah.
Flamers.
Very wow.
Flesh Hounds?
All right, Flesh Hounds. They are good.
Yeah, they're 19 points a model. They're pretty cheap. They're T4, 2 wounds, 4-up save against shooting, 5-up in combat.
Run that by me again.
4-up save and shooting, 5-up in combat.
Yep, toughness 4, 2 wounds, 3 attacks base.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 19 points a model, which is just efficient.
Yeah, it's not too cheap. It's not too much. Like, that's just a good number.
Yeah, Flesh Hounds are just a good unit.
Yeah, what's their strength? Their
strength 5,
AP2
damage 1 if they charged or heroic, which they can't heroic, but whatever.
I'm sure there's a way somewhere that we.
There is not.
Okay.
But if they charge, you get +1 damage, so they become
damage 2.
Strength 5, AP2, damage 2, which is just solid.
Yeah, you don't want to get charged by Flesh Hounds. Math checks out.
Good skirmishing unit. The Sergeant has a Flamer with AP1. That's
good for
cute.
him.
They deny power like they're a Psyker. They're just durable for their points. They're a solid unit.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with them. They're good. If you include them, they'll do work. If you don't include them, they're fine. I think they're better than a Burning Chariot.
Yeah. Are you thinking perfectly balanced, or you want them to be a worthy?
No, I think they're perfectly balanced.
Okay, yeah. I like Flesh Hounds, but they're not, they're not bringing home all the bacon by themselves.
Exactly.
They're just good. They're fast. They're good. They hit.
Yeah.
They're good utility. They have the deny, which is cute.
They're excellent skirmishers.
Yeah. It's a good skirmishing unit.
Yeah.
All about it.
All right, let's talk about is
this the
Flux
Master?
So Fate Skimmer, Flux Master, Changecaster.
Right, obviously. So the Flux Master is the in between, so he's just riding on a disc. So he does all of the same things that the walking guy does.
Yep.
Because he doesn't have, extra horrors hanging onto the disc.
Exactly.
He's just faster, and that's it.
Yep, that's it.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, strictly speaking, so the roles basically shake out. The guy on foot casts his 2 powers, and that's kind of all you do. Mm-hmm. The guy on a disc casts his 2 powers, and then is excellent at doing psychic actions.
Yep, because he can go anywhere, and he cares more about range to the enemy or points on the battlefield, whereas the walking guy is just buffing your own units.
Exactly.
And then the Chariot gets to be a little more aggressive.
The Chariot gets to...
Yeah. He's a little more expensive. I think he's like 130.
I believe he is 130. No, he's 110.
110. Oh, that's pretty good.
115 with the Staff of Change, which you probably will take.
Yeah, that's good. I think he's better than the walking guy.
Probably. Although I find it easier to just not pay the 30 points if I'm just looking to cast those 2 powers and that's it. But I think they're roughly comparable.
They're very comparable.
Yeah.
Solid.
All right.
Furies of Chaos are not in the book.
Exists.
So
they have, in fact, been banished back.
They have literally been banished back to Age of Sigmar.
That is correct.
So sad for that.
Their models are cool.
Right.
The Great Unclean One.
This is the Great Unclean One.
Yes.
This is the greatest Unclean One.
Oh, yeah. No. Rodigus is the greatest Unclean One.
Well, he's pretty great still. This one guy might be greater. He is big and dummy thick. He is toughness 9.
He is toughness 9.
You can get access to all the Nurgle relics and warlord traits and the specific. What are the points upgrades for Great Unclean Ones? Like, what's the best?
They are all good. There's one that you just retain 2 Warp Storm points if he's on the board.
Solid.
There's one where he's an additional aura of -1 leadership, -1 combat attrition.
Solid.
Which means your army deep strikes in closer to them, that's why that's good.
Yep.
And then there's -1 damage in combat against him.
Solid.
Yeah.
That's just 3 solid choices. He's good. He's slow.
He is very
He is
slow.
big and easy to shoot at.
He moves 7.
He is tough. Toughness 9 is big.
You're basically he has a bunch of things he can do. He knows 2 powers, casts 2 powers. He can, if he takes a Doomsday Bell, he can resurrect some Plague Bearer core models, so he can either resurrect D3 infantry or 1 plague drone. If he has a Bioblade, he can do a mortal wound to himself in order to cast that power 1 better. So if he casts 2 powers at 1 better, he does 2. Not great. By taking this boy, he's also 22 wounds, so the greater demon's 20.
Okay.
By taking this guy, you are telling your opponent you can't deal with this guy.
Yeah.
You can't.
And you need to be right when you say that.
Yes.
Because if you're wrong, you will lose your Green Clean Loop.
Yeah. It's really bad if your opponent just goes, yes, I can. Like, if they just shoot him to death turn 1, that's horrible.
Yeah.
That's really, really
can
bad.
deep strike him in, but then, like, he doesn't hit as hard as other greater demons in combat. He still hits hard. He is a greater demon.
Yep. Without Bellacor, Nurgle does not have a Warp Locust.
Other than Rodigus.
Other than Rodigus.
But yeah, but affording Rodigus and a greater and clean one's a bit of an ask.
Yes, that is
So
difficult.
I think he's like fine. He's just
did
not inspiring.
Put that in my on the Demons intro to Demons thing. I did put Great and Clean One and Rodigus in the list.
Absolute lad.
Yeah, because it's just so cool.
I mean, if they can't deal with toughness 9, then they are doubly screwed.
Yes. I mean, this guy wanders into the center of your opponent's army and casts Nurgle's Rot, and then your entire army dies.
Yeah, that is a thing you just can't let happen.
But he's too easily move blocked. If your opponent can shoot him, you are just in serious trouble.
Yeah.
And there's not a way you can play around that.
To me, he's the least inspiring of the greater demons.
Oh, by far.
Does that make him perfectly balanced or a meager offering? Because he's not worthy. He's not worthy.
He's not worthy, 100%. I think he's like the bottom of perfectly balanced.
He's worse than a Beast of Nurgle. I'll accept that.
Yep.
All
right. Yeah.
Oh, the tree is a locust.
The tree is a locust, which depending on your terrain format, you may be able to use or not.
Yep. We keep forgetting about
the
tree because we don't do forts often.
Yeah.
Okay. So
so that's like very stationary, and
yeah,
you can set up anywhere on the battlefield that's more than 9 from your opponent's deployment zone, but generally the terrain will prevent you from putting it down somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, Bellacor does not have to be in a Supreme Command, just to be clear. He can just be in a battalion like a normal dude.
Yep. If you decide you want him in a Supreme Command, then he does have to be your Warlord, and I don't love that as much.
He's fine as a Warlord, but he doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
All right, we've got some Slaanesh chariots. Unfortunately, there are now 6 chariots, and we only have artwork for 2 because it's the exact same model.
But they're also kind of the exact same unit.
They exactly are. So let's talk about Big Chariot first.
Yeah, so let's talk about the 3 characters. This will be the character ones, and then the non-character ones can be the other one, I guess.
I was going to do Big Chariot as like the big... Because this is...
That is the Exalted Chariot. Yeah, so Big Chariot is 12 wounds, which is great on non-character ones, but on the character ones, it's not
great
the best.
on the character.
Yeah, because I would much rather take the Hellflayer, which is 7 wounds character, than the Exalted Secret Chariot, which is 12, which means your opponent can shoot you.
Yeah, the Exalted Secret Chariot's cool. All the chariots are cool. They're relatively fast. They're not that fragile, but they're not that tough either. They're T5 with a 4-up save, 7 wounds on the small ones, 12 wounds on the big ones.
-1 to hit at range on every chariot, which is cute. It's not bad. Like, there are some armies that really hate that. I think that chariot spam just beats guard. Because, like, the entire army goes from outside of lasgun range to in combat.
I don't think that's true. They move 14.
Well, plus a charge. And then
they're all making their 10-inch charges?
Of course.
Okay. I was about to say that cannot possibly be guard.
Interesting. Like, they do have the aura of reroll hits and wounds against chaos. Yeah, you die.
Yeah. There's no way they're making it through.
All right. So I'm sure there's another army where -1 to hit screws them, but it's not guard. Yeah, because the 6 to hit auto win, that does suck.
And then you reroll all your hits.
Yeah, well, yes. Relic of Lost Cadia is
a hell of a drug.
Hell of a drug. Yeah, there's not really that many other armies that hate -1 to hit on quantity. Tau don't love it.
Yeah.
Because they have to get around it by, like, the Crisis unit can get around it, and then everyone else needs a Marker just to get back to level. Which kind of sucks.
Yeah.
The Chariot spam army, there's going to be someone in a tournament who shows up with it, and you're going to play them and you're going to be like, oh, that's really annoying to deal with.
Yeah, and you'll find a way.
Probably. Because they are mono strength 4 AP2 damage too.
Yeah. Chariot's cool. The Exalted Chariot is probably the best of the generic ones, but it's the worst of the character ones.
I'm not 100% sure on that.
It is also a bigger base, making it somehow even more move blockable.
Oh, it's very thin.
Which is incredible that they found something more move blockable than a Chariot.
Yeah. So, I mean, the only thing offensively it has is 4 extra strength 4 AP 0 damage 1 attacks. Mm-hmm. Whereas the Hellflayer gets a bunch of strength 6 AP2 damage 2 malefic
I just
attacks.
like the extra wounds.
I like the extra wounds on the generic ones.
Yeah.
And they are cheap. I believe they're 85 points for a generic one.
That's for the cheap one. I think the Exalted's a little more. Well, let's find out. I really don't know.
I believe the Exalted is heavy support's 85.
Okay.
Well, the Hellflayer's 75. The Seeker Chariot's 65. And then it's 100, 110, 120 for the character.
So the Exalted one is the most efficient wound per point of the big ones. So
Yes.
to me, that makes it pretty solid.
I think it's the best non-character one, but it's the worst character one because it's got 12 wounds.
Yeah, if we're going the non-character one, I think we're going perfectly balanced.
I think so.
It's fine. It's good.
Fine. Not
but
bad.
it's move blocked and it is strength 4, and sometimes that's not what you want.
If it's the character one, I think it's kind of just in the same spot, maybe a little worse.
Maybe a little
it
worse,
is damage 1 when it's not a character, because their snapping claws are just worse.
Yeah,
it's not great. Their damage output is trash.
That's a problem.
That is a serious
It's like
problem.
so good into certain things.
Yeah, you're gonna run into like
This kills pink horrors at light speed.
Oh yeah, instantly.
Yeah, the pink horror spam against the chariot spam. Oh yeah. However,
I mean, I think this
Anything
thing
else,
runs through like GSC.
Yeah, no, it really does. Really does, doesn't it?
Really does, doesn't it?
It gets move blocked so hard, but it does kill the thing that move blocks it at light speed.
And you take like 12. You're gonna move block all of them.
I don't.
No,
know.
you're gonna move block the front one, and then that front one is gonna move block
Move
all
block
of
11.
the bad ones.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Oh boy. All
this
right.
is the Herald of Slaanesh, who has a
The
different name.
Transweaver.
Solid.
Yes, knows a power, casts a power, picks a Demonet core unit, and then every time they make a melee attack, improve the AP by 1.
Just in general.
Just in general, not on a 6. Just you're 1 better.
Just
Go to AP3.
Demonet core. Oh, not just core.
No, Demonet.
So not.
No. They are reroll 1s to wound aura.
Solid.
Cute. I believe they're the only access to that AP1 because unlike all the other ones, I believe the Chariot ones just have a different. Yeah, they pick a Slaanesh core unit and they get +1 to hit. This one picks a Slaanesh Demonet core unit.
So it's the only access to that. That is genuinely a good rule, though. Getting Demonets to AP3 with their 5 bajillion AP3 attacks is pretty good.
Yeah.
I don't mind the Transweaver
The
here.
Transweaver is fine.
Slaanesh has good spells.
Toughness for 4 wounds kind of sucks.
It's kind of fragile.
I'm guessing it's going to be like 90 points. I'm going to be sad. And it is 70.
Yeah.
70, which is reasonable.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
It's perfectly reasonable.
I think it's perfectly reasonably balanced.
Yep. I will put it ahead of the Chariot.
Is a decent buff character.
Yeah,
I'm not sad about it.
Horticulus Slimex.
The slimy boy himself.
Oh, he's so slimy.
He really is, isn't he?
Yeah.
He's toughness 7, 9 wounds with 4 up in both phases.
It's a good start.
He has 2 attacks at strength 7, AP 4, damage 3, malefic.
Sure.
4 attacks at strength 6, AP 3, damage 2, hit rolls a 6 auto wound.
Is the name of his snail Munch?
It does not say.
Dang it.
Wait, hold on. Mulch.
Mulch.
Not
Got
Munch.
it.
Munch would have been great.
Mulch. Close
Mulch
enough.
is fine.
Okay. So what is his thing? Because he does get access to the stratagem to lock people in combat that beasts have.
He does.
So I like that.
Does he? Unless he specifically called out, he does not. He does not.
He certainly does, my friend.
Or Horticulus Slimex.
Or Horticulus Slimex.
Yeah, so that is pretty good, like in and of itself. He's a reroll 1s to wound aura. In your command phase, you pick a beast or plague drone unit within 9. Until the start of your command phase, reroll charges and +1 to hit.
That's like, if you're taking plague drones, he's not terrible.
Not terrible.
And he can grow the Garden of Nurgle.
No, he seeds the Garden of Nurgle.
Right.
Yes, he can
This is
seed the
Nick's
Garden of
favorite
Nurgle.
role.
It is.
Nick likes plants.
At the end of your movement phase, if this model is wholly within area terrain feature, which is hard because the model is huge.
He's
so he's
thick
entering
boy.
a terrain feature and then he has to back all the way out because he's cavalry. But whatever. If the model is wholly within area terrain feature, you can seed that terrain feature. Enemies treat that area terrain feature as if it had difficult ground, and then anytime they end any move, other than Pylons consolidates, on a 2-up they take D3.
That's like a rule that you can
It
have.
is. It is
fine.
It is fun that GW terrain. This guy literally just does not do any of that. Because if you go wholly within the squares, you are never leaving them.
No, he's cavalry. He can do it. Because he can be wholly on behind the wall, just on the plexiglass.
No, he can totally be on, but then he's never going anywhere the rest of the
game. He can advance to the other one.
He just goes back and forth and seeds your backfield.
Yes.
Sure. And then I believe the middle ground ones on GW terrain, you can't fit this guy wholly on.
He's not that big.
You have to fit. He's big.
Yeah, he's big. Sure.
You're not fitting that wholly on the center GW plexis, which are the only ones I care about. Do we have the model? Somewhere.
All right. Well, we'll find him later. I didn't think he was that big.
He's a large boy.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, he's nothing inspiring.
No, he is absolutely nothing inspiring. He's not a psyker, which I don't think he ever was.
No.
But like,
I think he's better than the epitome.
Yeah.
He's going meager for me.
So that's the size. Next to a Sloppity.
Yeah, that's like a 32 mil base. That's like barely bigger than an Outrider. He's big, but he's not like...
Yeah, but he's not fitting wholly on the center plexis. They have stuff on them. He's cavalry. He can't go in that. You will not.
All right. Next up, we have the Trance Weaver, right?
The Infernal and
Rapturous.
Or as Nick says...
Entrapturous.
The Infernal Entrapturous.
The Harp Lady.
Yes.
The Slaanesh Herald with a harp is like a Herald, but better.
Oh, yeah.
She is great.
We thought she was, like, fine, and then we noticed that she was Warp Locust, like, halfway through the review.
Yeah, Warp Locust is an amazing roll.
Oh, yeah. Deep Strike right next to them within 6 inches.
Yeah, she helps Slaanesh a lot.
Yeah, she, I think, is how you build in Slaanesh.
Fully agreed.
Yeah. She has a decent gun, either 6 shots, strength 5, AP 1, damage 1, or 1 shot, strength 9, AP 3, damage D3 plus 3.
Only ballistic skill 3, but you know what? Roll that dice.
Why not? 4 attacks.
Bang.
She's nothing to write home about.
She just like plays the harps, just bang. Just las cannon someone off the table.
Yeah, she's nothing to write home about really as any of her stats. She's 4 attacks in combat. She's 4 wounds, so do not get her in combat.
Yeah, she's period.
She does bring back a Slaanesh Core model within 6 inches. If it's infantry, you return D3.
Solid. So
she returns a Fiend or D3 Demonets every turn.
Or a Seeker.
Or 1 Seeker, yes. Which is
really
pretty good.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
She's a reroll 1s to wound aura. And if enemy Psychers are within 24 inches, they perils on doubles.
Yeah, just solid.
It'll just add up some. It's an anti-psychic ability that you'll actually take because she has other rules that are good, not because of the anti-psychic.
Yeah.
She's a Warp Locust. So I think you take 1, maybe even 2 of these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really like her in Slaanesh. She's this weird caveat of like you don't take her much in a suit build.
Mono
once
Slaanesh,
you take but like if you're going Slaanesh heavy, she becomes very valuable to that build. So to me, she's gonna be a worthy offering. It's a weird thing where she's not as good in soup as the Tzeentch Heralds, but is really important to pure Slaanesh. So I don't know where to put her.
I think she absolutely bops. And that is, in a pure Slaanesh build, she makes that build a thing that exists.
She does unlock a new build by herself. So, okay, I will go with that because I want Slaanesh to be up there.
A cheap Warp Locust. Like, she's not expensive.
She is a cheap Warp Locust.
She's a cheap Warp Locust. She is 80 points.
Yep.
And to access a character protectable Warp Locust.
And a weird Lieutenant Apothecary thing.
With
a gun.
She is not a Psyker, which is fine.
Would have been nice, but...
Because imagine she automatically casts a Psychic power that says you can bring units in right next to her.
I would take that.
You would totally do that.
So I think she's worthy, but I will accept bops.
I'll put her at top of worthy. She unlocks that build. She literally makes Slaanesh an army by itself, by herself.
Okay. Yeah. I'm about it. This is Fate Weaver.
Yes, that is Fate Weaver.
Yep.
Fate Weaver is not bad.
Fate Weaver's not bad. He comes with a Pocket Vect. Super cool. He gets +1 to cast every battle round.
Yep, so by battle round 4, he's +4 to cast, etc.
Yep, real good right there, Chief.
So here's how I rate the Fate Weaver versus a Lord of Change.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fate Weaver also knows every power out
Helpful.
of the Tzeentch discipline, which is super good because you can jump between buffing powers and offensive powers.
Yep.
So I think Fate Weaver is really good if your Lord of Change is not... He's better than Lord of Change if the Lord of Change would not be your Warlord. If the Lord of Change is your Warlord, you can take -1 to be wounded. You can take relics on him. Dope. But if Fate Weaver is not... Like, if the Lord of Change would not be your Warlord, Fate Weaver's just better. Mm-hmm. Because he's slightly more durable. And his rules are just better than the Lord of Change.
Yeah.
So I think...
He's not that much more.
You know, he's 20 points more.
Yeah.
Like, he's a Lord of Change plus a points upgrade.
Yep.
So I honestly put him in Worthy Offerings, probably the bottom of it, but, like, in there.
He's definitely better than Blue Horse.
Yes.
He's better than the Random Master, sadly.
He's expensive.
But
He's
he's
not bad.
pretty good.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Karanak, the Hound of Vengeance. Is that his name?
I don't know.
Dang
Doesn't say right here in the little blurb.
That's a pity. He's a character Flesh Hound.
Yeah, he's cool. He moves 12, weapon skill 2, 6 attacks, 5 wounds. He's decent combat, strength 6, AP 2, damage 2, and you pick a character unit in your first command phase. Every successful wound roll against that character is 2 mortal wounds.
Solid.
Yeah, so you just are like, you, Drago, die.
Yeah, and he also is denies 2.
Yes, he does deny 2.
Karanak.
Yes.
Let me know if he's the Hound of Vengeance, chat.
Ones.
I do believe he is the Hound of Vengeance.
He does reroll 1s to wound aura for Flesh Hound's core.
Oh, cool.
And if they're a Psyker, reroll wounds.
Oh, so he gives Flesh Hounds reroll wounds against Psychers?
Yeah.
That's, like, super solid.
Super cool.
Okay. There's, like,
I think he's perfectly balanced.
Yeah, he's fine.
He's fine.
There's nothing wrong with Karanak. He's the bestest boy. He's a very good boy. But there's nothing that exciting about him.
No.
Keeper Secrets.
Keeper Secrets.
Interesting.
Very interesting, actually.
Yeah. The cheapest Greater Demon, probably the worst stat-wise out the gate, but still a Greater Demon and has some good options.
Yeah, one of the better relics in the game, in this book, is Soul Stealer, which is just every time you kill a model, you heal a wound.
Solid on a 20 wound model that is still. It's only T7. Wow, it's the only one that's T7.
It is.
Oh, no, the Lord
Change
is
is T7, and so is Bellacor.
Bellacor is T7?
Yep.
I would have sworn he was T8.
Hope so?
No. I want him to be T7 because then I can, like, he's so much easier to answer at T7.
Yeah, so Keeper Secrets does come in at the cheapest price point.
Yeah, okay.
280 base with some decent upgrades. So the upgrades you can take.
Still very fast, a lot of attacks.
Still very fast. -1 to wound from range attacks is probably my take.
Yeah, absolutely. That's fine.
So that make her 315. Otherwise, you can take 6s to hit or an additional hit or +2 advance and charge rolls.
Solid.
All good. I would probably take -1 to wound at range and just be very, very durable. And then just -1 to hit at all times.
Yeah.
And you can choose to either have a Living Whip and a Shining Aegis or a Sinistrous Hand.
Which the shield gives.
Or a Ritual Knife.
Yeah, so the Ritual Knife is like extra attacks?
No, it is enemy model that took wounds but did not die on a 2+ takes D3 rolls at the end of the fight phase. Which is probably the worst.
Probably the worst one.
Living Whip is 6 shots, it's strength 6, AP 2, damage 2, 12 inch range.
Fine.
Not great. Sinistrous Hand is if you killed any models other than vehicles during the fight phase, you regain D3 wounds.
Really good, especially with the Soul Stealer Sword.
Yep. My favorite is Shining Aegis, which is just you go from a 5-up in combat, 4-up in shooting to a 4-up in combat, 4-up in shooting.
Probably worth it, yeah. I don't like having a 5-up save on Greater Demons.
I really don't.
So
4 attacks at strength 6, AP 4, damage 3, Malefic, and 6 attacks at strength 8, AP 3, damage 3.
Yeah. The Keeper's really good. It's a Psyker, of course. It has all the normal Greater Demon rolls.
Nose 2, cast 2. I'm running one this afternoon.
I think it's perfectly balanced. I think it's a good Greater Demon, but it's not like an incredible Greater Demon.
I honestly think it's better than Fate Weaver.
Really?
Yeah.
You are okay.
I think you can make him trans hitman. You -1 to hit if you need to. I mean, like, you're trans hitman if you need to. Otherwise, you're -1 to hit, -1 to wound at range, and you're just healing a million wounds a turn.
Okay, I'm willing to trust you on this one, Jack. You are our demon expert. I am merely a demon hunter. You want right above Fate Weaver? Is that what you're thinking?
Right above Fatey.
Okay, we'll do it.
All right. What's next?
Next is the Lock, the Lord of Change.
Okay, so I think Lord of Change is only good if you get the -1 to wound Warlord trait. Which is a good Warlord trait to have.
Which is a great Warlord trait.
It is a great Warlord trait on him. You can give him that and the Impossible Robe to blank a save every phase of your choice. It really is one of the best relics in the game. That one is legitimately one of the best.
I think that's the best defensive relic I've ever seen.
Probably, yeah. There might be one I've forgotten about.
I'm sure there's one I forgot about, but like
in 9th edition.
What a relic.
Grim was a hell of a drug.
Oh,
but
right.
Yeah, it's such a great defensive relic, especially on a monster.
That's true. I was thinking like a personal relic. I'm sure that there's a relic that's like
pick a unit. It never dies. But yeah. I mean, I think that what are you talking about? It's amazing.
Yeah, I think the Lock is normally better than Fate Weaver. I do think it's better than Keeper as well.
I think so. I think it's like right up there. Probably, yeah, probably around there.
Right around there.
The problem is he takes your Warlord trait slot. And if you don't have a Warlord trait on him, he is worse than those other two.
That is true, yeah. If he's the Warlord, he does get very tough. If he's not the Warlord, he kind of crossed that threshold of, I can kind of be killed.
Yeah. So I like Lord of Change. I do think the disc guy makes him so you don't necessarily want to spend your Warlord trait slot on him. And he's also 150 points cheap. Not 150 points. He's like almost 200 points cheaper. So
yeah, it's a real thing, yeah.
Yeah. All right, what do we got next?
I believe this is Mammon Transfigured. If you could just confirm for me.
Yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, that's Mammon
He's
Transfigured. There's no picture.
He's a 9-wound Demon Prince with like a weird flamer.
Yep, 5-up armor save, and that's it. He has 3d3 shots at strength 5, AP 2, damage 2 that automatically hit, 12-inch range. And he has 5 attacks at strength 7, AP 3, damage 3. And then every time a Nurgle Demon uses within 6 inches, they reroll hit rolls with 1.
Okay, so he seems like his special rule is Walking Demon Prince with a flamethrower.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But then he doesn't have the keyword or the right updates to work.
Exactly. He also, his 6-inch reroll ones to hit applies to all Nurgle Demons, so...
Yay, Possessed.
I was going to say, like, yay, Great Unclean One, but yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Like, do they have the keyword?
Yay,
No, they have...
Yeah,
they have Demon still, okay.
Yeah, Demon
All right.
and...
I didn't know if Legion's
Slanesh,
Demonica, like, replaced it or anything.
No, they keep it.
Okay, so, like, yay, Mammon Transfigured, 5-up armor save?
Yeah, he
really needs an FAQ?
Needs an FAQ.
How much would you pay for this guy?
Oh boy, 150.
You'd pay 150?
How much is he?
Well, hold on. He's 130.
Oh,
Yeah, he's like very cheap.
he's actually very cheap.
Yeah,
I don't think he's bad.
he needs an FAQ to get demon saves, and once he gets like the generic keyword update that you hope comes soon, I don't know when. But once he gets, real keywords and a demon save again, if he's still 130, like, is he a psyker? Because if he's
I don't believe so. No, he is not.
Okay, so he's just a demon prince with a flamer. But
he makes your army reroll ones to hit, and he does not
like
need to
not
include a great
terrible.
No, 130 he's actually
130 is cheap. Maybe it's because they realized that they accidentally made a demon prince that does not a single thing.
Yeah, but turns out at 130 that's not
130
terrible.
is like
I think he's in bottom end of perfectly balanced.
yeah, he's probably better than the Great and Clean one.
Probably.
He's 130.
He can't be shot.
The 5-up armor save is a real problem though.
It is. He needs that fixed first.
Yeah.
All right. Norglings.
Norglings, non-mandatory troops, so they can't fill a slot in a battalion, but they can like be extra after that point.
But they are 4 wounds for 20 points.
Also don't get obsec.
Yes.
But they are 4 wounds for 20 points per model, which is not that many points.
And they still pregame.
Good smite scream.
Yep, they don't have feel no pain or anything. They're 6-up in combat, 5-up from shooting, but they are -1 to be hit. And they can deploy anywhere on the board.
Yeah. I actually think Nurglings are kind of good because demons really hate smites and mortal wounds, and also for deploying a cheap unit behind just on an objective, not garbage.
No, I think these things fall in perfectly balanced.
Yeah, there is nothing wrong with Nurglings. They are not amazing. If they were obsec, they would be back to being awesome. They can do some actions, just not infantry ones.
Yep.
So like some mission actions, and it's like it's not terrible. It's not great.
That's where I would put it. Not terrible, not great.
All right, pink Quarries.
Amazing.
Great.
Yep.
Up they go.
They are miserable to shoot at.
Yeah, they have a 3-up demon save against shooting, and then they also split.
Yep, which means if you killed any models but not the whole unit, after that activation, I roll a die for every model you killed. On a 4+, it splits and turns into 2 blue horrors.
Yeah.
Same thing for the blue horrors, which then turn into a brimstone horror piece.
Yeah. So if I shoot them and I put 20 saves on these boys, I probably kill like 6. Then you roll 6 dice, and every 4+ is 2 blue horrors. So at the end of it, you are, again, a 10-man unit, and you just now have a worse save on some dudes.
Yep. As long as there's
miserable.
one pink horror in the unit, you can do actions and has OPSEC.
Miserable.
Oh, yeah. They ignore attrition modifiers, too, so you make sure the last guy is the guy holding...
An icon.
Is it the icon? I think it's
the icon. I think the one that matters.
Icon. The instrument's +1 leadership, I believe. But yeah, you just make sure the last guy... Yep, icon. You just make sure the last guy's holding an icon, and that's it. And then you just... If you go through the unit the hard way, it's 25 models.
Yeah.
10 of which have a 3-up invuln, 10 of which have a 4-up invuln, 5 of which have a 5-up invuln.
Yeah. Now they have a 6-up in combat, so they melt in combat. So you don't want to spam these, but one of them in the backfield as your OBSEC, banner raising, objective hold, and screen, really good. They are 150. That is a little pricey. But again, a cheap unit that does not get shot off of back objectives, very good.
Yeah, you can gate a unit behind, you can deep strike a unit behind, you can do whatever you want. You can shoot the pink horrors, and then at the end of that shooting phase, there's maybe more pink horrors than started.
Yeah,
or maybe more horrors.
Geez.
And you're just not getting them off the objective by shooting, ever.
I think that they're great. It takes a lot of specifically aimed effort to deal with them, and it's a pain in the butt, and they're a good troop unit.
Yeah.
I love them.
Absolutely.
Plague drones. I like plague drones a lot. They're toughness 6 base, I think. And you can spell them to toughness 7.
You can.
They are not bad in combat. They're not great. They're still weapon skill 4 is a big problem. But they're fast. They're relatively tough.
They are 5 wounds, which is net fewer than they had before, because they had 4 with a 5 of Feel No Pain, which is functionally 6. They hit okay. Not amazing.
But like they do hit. And they're coarse. You can stack buffs on them, which is nice.
You can. They're all right. They're perfectly balanced. They move decently far. They take buffs decently well. They can be made to obsec, do things like that, but they're not small, so they don't slip through little gaps and take objectives away.
Yeah, they fly at least.
They do fly. They're fine.
Cool models.
Cool models.
Cool Nurgle model.
Yes.
I
just find it so hard to get excited about Nurgle models.
Yeah.
They're just very boring.
Yeah. I think they're the higher end of perfectly balanced. We're getting into the Plague Bears, who in my mind are the least inspiring troop because they are slow, obsec, and they're 2 wounds. Yeah, and they're 4 up against shooting, so like they're more durable than horrors sometimes because they're also T5.
Yeah,
T5 2 wounds means they're more durable than horrors sometimes, and they're more durable in combat for sure.
Yeah, horrors I think are still toughness 3.
Pink horrors are toughness 3, so
but they are still absolute misery to shoot at.
Plus 2 toughness, plus 1 wound, and a worse save, and not splitting is like they're about as hard to shoot as horrors maybe, but then they're slower, and they're also sometimes easier to shoot than horrors because if you start hitting them multi damage, it probably just does
clip the whole squad
or it clips enough, and like you can chip them is the problem because you can't chip horrors.
Yeah, what?
Oh shoot.
Yeah.
If you chip horrors, literally nothing happens.
Yeah, like literally they just come back. So they're fine. I mean, there's a build where they like double obsec, and your opponent counts as half models, and your opponent loses obsec, and you can totally take 60 Plague Bears and just mess with your opponent's objectives forever. I think that build struggles to kill anything.
Yep. They're 2 attacks, weapon skill 4, and 6 to hit auto wounds at strength 4, AP 2, damage 1. Like
they can receive a lot of buffs to become better than that, but they don't become like good in combat. They just become
better,
capable.
Yeah, they're fine. I'm not super excited about Plague Bears personally. I think that they are dropping. They're perfectly balanced. They're probably the weakest of the 4 troop choices.
Oh yeah.
I like the 4 main ones.
Not even close, honestly.
They're probably greater in Cleveland tier, unfortunately.
They're whatever. They're fine.
Yeah. We've got the Nurgle Herald.
The one on foot.
The basic Nurgle Herald on foot.
Nurgle bores me so much, unfortunately.
He is a psyker. He is the lieutenant as normal.
Toughness 6 with 6 wounds.
Okay, so he is significantly tougher than the other walking heralds.
Yep, 3 attacks.
Yep, 3 attacks. Wow. He's damage powerful. 2. Does he do anything besides be a lieutenant?
He picks a Plague Bear's core unit, 6 wound rolls of 6 or plus 1 damage, and he knows a power cast power.
That's pretty good on plague drones.
It is. They have a bunch of attacks. Yeah. You can't give plus 1 damage to their...
Yeah, you can't modify the malefic weapons. Wow, what a name.
Yeah.
But it's fine.
It's fine. Perfectly balanced with the rest of it. Thotigus. I do have a lower opinion of Thotigus than I think you do.
I don't love him.
I don't love him either.
He's T9, 24 wounds.
He's a Warp Locust.
He's a Warp Locust, which does help delivering slow Nurgle stuff, but he is himself slow, so it's a little worse to deliver. The real question is, what does he do that a Great and Clean one doesn't?
Oh, that's easy. The only thing he does that a Great and Clean one doesn't is if he rolls a 7+ on a psychic power, closest enemy unit within 24, it just takes D3.
Within 24?
Within 24.
That is cool. He's like almost a Maliceptor without the casting buffs or as many casts. He actually is more as many casts now. He casts 2?
No, he has 2.
All right, so he's like a kind of a Maliceptor. Just calling down the rain.
Yeah, and it is closest enemy unit outside of line of sight or anything.
Yeah, just closest enemy unit. It's like perfectly
He is
fine.
Right next to the Grand Clean one.
Yeah.
Right below it.
Doesn't do much significantly different from that.
Doesn't have a Warlord trait. Doesn't have one of the great Exalted traits.
2 extra wounds.
2 extra wounds. Is a Warp Locust, but like is slow.
Yeah.
I
How
can't get
about
excited.
Scabathrax?
Oh boy.
Yeah, buddy. Scabathrax.
Scabathrax the Bloated. First off, he's toughness 8, like a chump.
21 wounds,
21
with
wounds with a
save.
6-up armor save. That
Jeez.
he does have a 4-up invuln because he's a demon lord. But
That's good.
Whatever.
Good for him.
Yeah. Nurgle Demon used within 6 inches every time an enemy model makes a melee attack -1 to hit. On a 4+, he explodes for everyone except Nurgle, D6 inches, D6 mortals. And he gives his leadership 10 around. And that's like literally it. He knows 2 powers, he casts 2 powers. This guy is like a Great Unclean One. Like, he's probably a little worse.
He's a little bit worse than a Great Unclean
Toughness
One.
8, 21 wounds instead of toughness 9, 22.
But at least he costs 100 points more, 425.
Oh, John.
Straight to the bottom.
Yeah, get him out of here.
Yikes. Okay. We do have a 50 SEK.
Swedish krona.
Thank you. Super chat from Jonas Anderson. Thank you so much. We really appreciate that. What's best for Bellacor? Supreme Command, Bellacor in a battalion with a Warlord trait but no Warp Storm, or double patrol for Warlord trait and Warp Storm, or no Bellacor?
I like Bellacor in a battalion or a patrol or something where he is not the Warlord.
Yep.
His Warlord trait is actually not that great outside of his personal.
Chapter Master is good, but you can get rerolls.
Yeah, but you can't put it on that much.
It's Legion's Demonica Core.
Legion's Demonica Core, no vehicles.
Yeah.
Which is
Bloodletters,
not as much as you would think.
It's like Fiends, Bloodletters, Demonets.
So, and it has to be something that's on the start of the board at the start of the turn, which means what you want to do is you want to give rerolls to hit, teleport the unit with Shrouded Step, and then charge.
So you got to make the charge.
The list of things that can do that are Bloodletters.
Yep.
Or you want to find something on the board that wants to reroll the hit, which is not a lot because the best offensive damaging unit auto hits. It's Flamers.
And one of the best deliveries in Demons is the fact that Bellacor is a Warp Locust, which means that whoever he's delivering is not in there in the command phase.
And he already rerolls ones to hit.
And an aura.
Already rerolls ones to hit to everything that isn't a vehicle.
Yeah.
Including Mr. Bloodthirster, etc.
He's definitely like one of the 3 Warlord traits I would want, but because the Demon book has put the limit of 1 Warlord trait for the army in, at that point, you probably don't say that this is the best Warlord trait you can take.
Yeah.
So, for my money, I'm with you. Yeah. He goes in a patrol, not as the Warlord.
Yeah.
Honestly, I wouldn't pay to sleep
for his Warlord trait myself.
Yeah. If I had Bloodletters and Demonets and like core units that benefited, I would. But if I was just doing like Soul Grinders, Greater Demons, and Flamers, then no, they don't bother.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
but, I mean, he is phenomenal. But his
everything besides that about him is great.
In his Army of Renown, take the Warlord trait. You're going to love it.
Yep. Okay. How about Screamers of Tzeentch? They are another tough against shooting Tzeentch unit. They do have the downside of having no guns, which means that at some point they might get into combat.
And then they have a 6-up.
At which point they have a 6-up. I really feel like they should have gone different saves for Screamers.
Yeah.
But like at least they get delivered.
A 4 and a 4 would be much more interesting because then they're at least more durable.
Yeah.
I like Screamers from back in the day, but I think right now they are just like Flamers, but way worse.
They are way worse than Flamers. I like that they teleport instead of advancing, so they're great for taking, like, for getting into table quarters for secondaries and stuff, but like they're still, because your secondary game is so strong in that category, you never need behind enemy lines. Yeah. So like they're actually better in soup than in pure because you have the good demon secondaries, but if I was like putting an allied detachment in my Thousand Suns army, maybe I'd want to get engaged and just send 3 Screamers into a corner and just get engaged or behind enemy lines or something.
I think Screamers are perfectly balanced. I think they're fine.
Yeah.
They are a combat unit that is bad in combat and does not want to get there, but they are fast and durable in shooting. Yeah. So that puts them in perfectly balanced. Also, Jonas Anderson, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You are a hero. We really, really appreciate you.
All right, let's get to the Hellflayer.
Yep, this is the next.
And the regular Secret Chariot.
This is the small one. The character is pretty interesting. Is the character on Chariot a Psyker?
Yes.
Okay, that's good.
Yes.
And it's still a lieutenant. It's 7 wounds. It is 1,000,000 strength 4 attacks. Can't be shot. Still can be moved, blocked. Not that tough. Not that fragile. Yes. It's a weird place.
For my money, the Hellflayer is like by far the best one.
You mean the big one?
No, the Hellflayer is the medium one.
Yeah, the medium one is the best one because it is still a character, but it is the hardest hitting character.
Yes.
And it still is a less than 9 wood character.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think that it's going towards the top of perfectly balanced.
Yeah.
But like, it's still not so inspiring that I'm trying to build lists around it because it is awkwardly move blockable as a character.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. All right, what's next?
Seekers. Seekers are the Slaanesh unit I want to love.
And
they're not bad.
They're not bad. They are worse than Fiends and Demonets.
That's the problem.
By like enough of an amount that they're just worse.
Yeah. Yikes. So Seekers, they're cavalry, not beasts, so they have to go around where Fiends go through. They're 20 points a model, which is not bad. Only 2 wounds each. They do hit hard.
They hit as hard as a Demonet.
But then they've got the little like lashing tongue that their mount does.
Well, the lashing is 1 attack at strength 4.
It's only 1?
Yeah, it's only 1.
Wow, it's Malefic
2. Sorry. They are +1 natively to their charge rolls, which is super cute.
Yep.
And they do reroll hits.
They do move 16,
for 1 CP.
which is really fast.
Move 16 +1 of their charges. They're pretty good. Mm-hmm. But they're not Fiends or Demonets for my money.
Yep.
They're just a lot more expensive than Demonets. Like, offense per point, they are worse than Demonets by a significant amount.
Yep.
They are +1 toughness, +1 wound, which is like cute, but a lot of the time it's going to be around the same durability.
Yeah, and when damage 2 hits, you are less durable than Demonets.
Yep, per point.
I love Seekers, but I don't think now is the time for them.
No, I think they're perfectly balanced.
Yeah, they're okay, but they're not as exciting as Demonets or Fiends for me.
They die so fast, they're less deliverable in my mind.
Yeah, they are. I think they're worse than Blood Crushers.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
We have a Shalaxi Hellbane.
How do you recognize that from like the barest tip?
It's because it has a different top knot. Shalaxi Hellbane is the named Keeper of Secrets, who is admittedly really cool.
Yeah.
She's like a character hunter, so she's like a normal keeper that is D3 +3 damage against characters with her big spear.
Correct.
And she's -1 to wound in melee.
Yep, so -1 to hit all the time, -1 to wound in melee, heroics 6 inches to characters.
Yep.
Because she just cannot abide those characters.
She does. She's the monarch of the hunt, so she just goes after characters.
2 bonus wounds, and you can choose to have either a living whip or to be not dead immediately. So you can choose to have a Shining Aegis for 4-up in combat, or you can have a living whip. You're taking the Aegis.
Yep.
She's fine.
Yeah, she's great in combat. -1 to hit and wound, and a Warp Locust. She's awesome in combat. But I do think that vulnerable to shooting is not what you want on a 22 and
Correct.
And I don't think that she's very deliverable unless you Warp Locust her in, at which point, like, what are we doing here?
Yeah. And you can't chain Warp Locusts because they have to be on the board at the start of the turn.
Exactly.
So she's fine. She is, in my mind, worse than a Keeper of Secrets.
Agreed.
So I think that she goes in perfectly balanced.
Yeah,
she's better than the
she's
great
better
and
than the
clean
great and clean ones.
She's like better than she's around the Exalted Secret Chariot. She's not terrible.
No.
She's very fast and she hits hard.
Yeah. Okay. Here's the one that Tim's been waiting for, Scarbrand.
So when the book came out,
we were very hyped on Scarbrand.
When we got the book, very hyped on Scarbrand. I was the first one to fall off the Scarbrand train.
Yep.
For the very simple reason that his aura of +1 attack?
It works on everyone.
It works on everyone. So here's what happens, right? So Nick loves Scarbrand conceptually, although he may have fallen off the train as well. Mm-hmm. He left for Nova, so I haven't been talking to him about the Demon book recently.
Yep.
Nick likes trapping people in combat.
It's kind of his thing. So he was like, Scarbrand traps people in combat very reliably, as a matter of fact. Scarbrand.
So he was like, Scarbrand, Bellacor, we're going to build around that.
Mm-hmm.
The problem with Scarbrand is you go in, you trap someone in combat. So your opponent's answer to that guy is combat, unless they're Tau.
Yeah, they have to charge you because you can't fall back from Scarbrand easily. It's possible, but no.
So they got to go in and kill you. But the problem is you hand your opponent the +1 attack aura. You are almost never using the +1 attack aura yourself.
Yeah.
Offensively, unlikely. Because you have to get in, and then the following turn, like, you're going to support him with combat units, which means you're going to get that +1 attack into real units.
You could try to get in like with
turn.
Also a bunch of Bloodletters, kill a bunch of screens, and just consolidate into one very unfortunate screen, and be like, I have 4 units that are all +1 attack and hard to charge, but then like
hard to shoot.
Hard to shoot, yeah. Well, they're hard. Yeah, they're just hard to shoot. But then you just go in and you're like, my Repentia are making 40 attacks, and your opponent's like, I didn't know they got that high, and thank you for your support.
Yes. So what in my opinion will always happen with Scarbrand is you go in, you trap your opponent takes that +1 attack aura and kills Scarbrand with it.
Yeah.
That's going to happen like all the time.
Yeah. Scarbrand buffs models within 6 inches or units within 6 inches get +1 attack and can't fail morale checks. Units. Not enemy, not friendly. units.
And if they want to fall back on a 3d6, they do not.
Yeah.
3d6 minus their leadership.
And that applies to you as well.
It does, but
Hilariously.
theoretically you don't want to do it. It's not an oversight. It's always been that way.
Yeah, this is a consistent thing. Scarbrand did this in the last book too.
Yes.
Imagine getting Scarbrand charged before he gets to swing first. Oh, he goes and he kills something, Tim. And then he consolidates into someone else. And then he's like, you don't get to fall back from me. And it's like, wow, this giant demon in front of me that I can't shoot. I guess I have to charge him. Oh, but I'm better at charging him.
Yeah.
He is less durable than a Bloodthirster because he gives people extra attacks.
They Uno reverse card your +1 attack.
Yeah, the Scarbrand gets bopped. He is awesome because he ignores invulns. He does trap people in combat.
He ignores psychic powers.
If you have a large combat superiority in a game, totally worth it. Against another combat army, oh brother.
Yeah.
Like, just, again, I cannot emphasize this enough. If you give Repentia +1 attack, you are so screwed.
He's also a Bloodthirster with 2 more wounds, but no access to the 5 at Feel No Pain.
Yeah.
He does hit harder.
He does.
He does.
He ignores invulns. Super good.
Super good.
Yeah, Tim's out here.
Ignores psychic powers, which is also super good.
Ignoring psychic powers is great because this army absolutely detests smites.
Maybe I'll take Scarbrand this afternoon.
Yeah, take Scarbrand. But there is the thread of if you give a melee unit too many attacks, then trapping them in combat was the wrong choice, not the right choice.
Yeah, so you trap some nonsense screen in combat, and then your opponent's like, well, here's my combat units, and you're tabled now. Because they're all +1 attack to kill. Scarbrand is now no longer hard to kill because +1 attack kill you.
It's very cornate. Like, God, imagine like Sanguinary Guard coming in. Like, and the Sanguinary Guard,
6
and
attacks.
like, you don't even kill Scarbrand at the beginning of the phase. You start swinging onto things next to Scarbrand.
Yeah, you put a character into Scarbrand, so if he interrupts, guess what? You killed the character because of.
And then like your entire army gets +1 attack for a turn.
Yeah.
Again, on top of the +3 attacks you have. Is 3 greater demons too vulnerable to assassinate and bring it down? It is vulnerable. 2 is hard to say. I think 2 greater demons is the sweet spot.
I think 2
or
is.
Assuming that Bellacor is basically a greater demon.
Yeah,
he's not, but like he basically is.
He basically is. I think 2 is the right number. They have to kill all 3 to get 12, which is a lot of points.
If you're also taking other like Exalted Flamers, it does become
Yeah, I think like 2 Exalteds plus like 3 Soul Grinders gives it up really hard.
Yeah.
So like you have to think about that. I think if you run the Soul Grinders, I think you just run Bellacor.
Yeah.
But we'll get to Soul Grinders in a second. I think Scarbrand is wildly worse than we thought he was.
I still think he's good.
I think he's bottom of Worthy Offering.
Yeah, that's about where I was thinking.
We thought he was like the best unit in the book for a solid day.
I think he's worse than Fate Weaver, which is a sad sentence indeed.
He actually is.
All right.
Because as we said, against anything that isn't Tau, the trap you in combat thing will just lead to him getting killed.
Yeah. Ooh, Bonsai Kitty Gaming with the $2 super chat. How would IG prepare to defend against new demons? I'm not gonna lie to you. It is exactly the same way as old demons. You get some guns, and you get some screens.
And then you get
just take the Relic of Loscadia and you vengeful them. Dalton Peters asks, did you guys see my super chat? Did we miss it? Oh, I'm so sorry, Dalton. We did in fact miss your super chat. My apologies. IG preparing against new demons. Let's finish this one first. I think just having a massive guns, a little bit of indirect, Vengeance for Cadia, Relic of Loscadia is your best bet. Getting trapped in combat by demons sucks, but only Khorne and Nurgle can do it. And Nurgle only does it on slow units. Mainly it's Khorne who does the trapping.
Yes.
That means that you need to have one very thinly spread screen, not multiple screens.
Yep.
You cannot have several screens.
And what you
one screen.
want to do is if you lose any models, you pull the center guy in the squad.
And you break that coherency in half. You snap it like a glow stick.
And then
the unit's dead.
You can pull everybody down until you get to one model.
Yeah.
You can't pull the last one to coherency.
Oh.
But you can pull, at that point, you can keep pulling models until you end up in coherency.
And that will take forever.
You're not forced to pull
direct,
until you're literally in coherency. You can pull in whatever order you want. So whoever they trap, if there's one model not engaged, that's the one that's still living.
And if they're trying to trap one side or the other, you kill that entire half. If they are trying to trap both sides in every single model, you pick the most important target, and that's the one that you kill out of, and then that one gets shot.
You can always take Scout Sentinels with plasma cannons too.
No, that's not a plan, and I will not abide it. But you can. There are
the combo. There is when they charge you, you overwatch and you overcharge the gun, and you try to kill yourself.
Yeah, but the important thing is to have one screen. Otherwise, if they can charge one screen, kill it, and then try point the next while putting a no fallback on them, then it's like, wow, I really can't get out of this. one screening unit. That's a 30-man conscript blob screening the entire thing. It will die. It's dead. Don't put buffs on it.
Yeah, you string it out so that if you pull one guy, you can
pull a guy in the middle.
Unit
the entire unit's freaking dead. Like,
yeah, you're not trapping
like
that in combat.
Yeah, like you're not living against this. Like it's dead. You shoot what charged them.
Yeah,
or shot them or whatever. That's the plan.
That is
the entire plan.
And then you shoot them. Honestly, with that plan, I think demons are in a very rough spot against guard.
Shockingly, yes.
Yes.
They really could be. All right, let's get that Dalton Peters super chat. Thank you so much for that support, Dalton. You are a champion of chaos. Do we think that a unit of fiends is worth it in multi-god to get -1 to hit whatever you charge or fight, etc.? I do think that fiends are pretty good in multi-god. They're the best Slanesh unit to insert in my mind.
They just have the best stats.
They just have the best stats, and they're fast and they're beasts, so they get to go through walls.
I don't think the -1 to hit.
It's cute. It's
is
useful.
It's fine.
I just like them as a stats brick that is fast and charges.
Maybe you can surround Scarbrand with them, so your opponent, you just kind of go not the face, not the face.
God. Make those repention -1 to hit, Jack. Go ahead.
Oh, God.
I do think Fiends are worth it in multi-god. If I'm adding Slanesh to multi-god, absolutely it is Fiends in first. Fiends and characters.
Yeah.
All right. Skull Throne.
Skull Throne. Or no, the Skull Cannon.
Sorry, Skull Cannon.
Yep.
It shoots a number. It shoots
D6
D3
shots. Plus 3.
Oh, is it really?
Yep, D3 plus 3 shots. It's strength 8, AP 2, damage 2. Ignores cover.
That's like perfectly
all the benefits of cover.
Respectable.
Hits on
Ballistic
3.
Skill 3, yeah.
Yep.
That's
4 attacks. It's strength 6, AP 3, damage 2. 2 attacks. It's strength 6, AP 1, damage 2.
Sure.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong. Clean 100 points.
It's a
I believe it's a clean
this is just screaming perfectly balanced. Like it's not bad shooting for its points, but it's not great shooting.
It is clean 100. Yeah, it's
not
like
inspiring.
the middle of put him above the beast just because.
Sure.
It's fine.
Yep.
Honestly, no, it doesn't do anything. Put it below Shalaxi.
It's above Mammon Transfigured.
Above Mammon, because they both don't do anything, but this one's 100
one gets
points.
gets an involved
Yeah.
save. All right, next we've got a Corn Herald who rides a horse, which I believe is the Skull Master.
I believe you're correct, but there's no reason not to check. Skullmaster.
Skullmaster.
He's cavalry, which blows.
Yeah.
He is 7 wounds.
Does he do anything besides be a lieutenant?
Nope. He also does the hit rolls of 6 automatically wound.
Okay, that's.
He has 4 bladed horn attacks, which are worse than the 4 attendants Hellblades attacks on the Renmaster.
So he's worse than the Random Master.
He is worse than the Renmaster. He's 10 points cheaper. He moves 2 inches further.
Faster, really. Mm-hmm. Moves 10. How much is the Random Master move?
8.
Wow, I really thought a chariot was gonna be faster than that.
Yep. He is barely worse than a Renmaster.
Yeah, he's like fine. I think he goes to the very top of perfectly balanced.
Yeah, totally fine with that.
Cool.
Skull Taker.
Skull Taker. Ah, what a guy, right? Everyone loves Skull Taker.
Yeah,
he do
cool.
be taking skulls.
He do be taking skulls. This guy hits. If you want to give him his Warlord trait, he ignores Feel No Pains and Face Caps.
It's such a good Warlord trait, but you just only get one.
If you got more than one, which 50-50 the GW.
No, absolutely not. I'm saying 0% chance. There's no way they're doing it.
Fine, 10% chance. I'll go 10.
Fine.
I'll go 10.
Okay, yeah. Sure. I'm sure this time GW will
50-50 they acknowledge it's a mistake.
It wasn't a mistake. All right.
So if you could take more than one Warlord trait, you probably would take Skull Takers,
Yes.
but you can't, so
Skull
you won't.
Taker is so cool.
He is so cool. He's 110. He gives a command phase buff of +1 to hit to Bloodletter Core. You reroll wounds while you're near him. Every time he kills a character, both of those increase by 3-inch range, and up to 12. And you reroll hits and wounds against characters, and he ignores invulns with his Slayer Sword. Strength 6, AP 3, damage 3.
He's so cool.
He is so cool.
Yeah.
He is bottom worthy offering, I'll say.
Yeah, I think he's better. I think he's the best Corn Herald to take.
Probably.
Even though he's slower than a Blood Throne.
He's cheaper.
He's cheaper, and I'm okay with it.
He's also great just being shot out of a cannon by Bellacor.
Yeah, just deep striking your Bellacor and being like, you!
Go!
Your skull, it belongs to me now!
I just imagine Bellacor just like... just firing Skull Taker into the middle.
I was actually thinking like it was X-Men style, like it's like Colossus throwing Wolverine at people.
Sure.
Come on, like just like shot putting, like...
It's like, what do you mean Bellacor doesn't have any guns? He throws units at you.
Yeah, he's throwing Skull Taker down the field.
All right, what's next? Is this Slappity Sloppity?
This is a Sloppity Bile Piper.
All right. The Bilious Piper, he's all right. He's 6 wounds, toughness 6 with a 5/4 up.
He's a lieutenant, Nurgle, not a psyker. What does he do?
Sure. So he picks a Great Unclean One Nurgle or Plaguebearer core unit within 6 in the command phase, +1 move, advance, and charge.
Your army is slow as dirt, so I do want that.
It takes it up to just slow.
Slow as mud?
Yeah, I guess. It
Minus
kinda
some
runs a
water,
little.
so it runs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yikes. What else?
You can pick an enemy unit within 12 inches in the morale phase and roll 3d6. If it's greater than the enemy's leadership, this is what he actually does. You can prevent them from doing actions or stop an action in the middle, or they lose OBSEC.
Okay, so taking away OBSEC, actually kind of cool. Is he like... I know he's going to be like 90 points, but please tell me he's like 60 or 70.
He's not. I think he is 90. He might be...
Tell me he's 60 or 70.
I think the Scrivener is 100, and I think he's 90.
Lie to me.
He's 85. I'll meet you in the middle.
Okay.
He does have access to a great stratagem, which is once a game, 1 CP, pick an enemy unit within 6 in the shooting phase, and roll a die for every model, and then for every roll that exceeds their toughness, they take a mortal wound. Up to 6.
That's sometimes amazing.
Yeah, you can only use it once.
That is sometimes amazing. Okay.
He has Jolly Gut Pipes.
So once a game, he spends a command point to cast Neuroparasite.
Yeah.
6-inch range, you said?
6-inch range in the shooting phase.
Not terrible.
No, it's not terrible.
Is he perfectly balanced? He seems better than Mammon because he can take away OBSEC, and that gives some play.
Yeah, he is.
Taking away OBSEC is a legitimate thing that you do like to have.
He's straight into the I don't really care tier.
Yeah, it's exactly where he is.
Nurgle's whole thing is manipulating OBSEC. That's what it sounds like, and he is a key part of that.
Yep.
So let's get to a soul grinder. We're going to grind them souls up to make our bread.
Yep. Wow, there is so many data sheets in here.
There really are.
There are so many data sheets in 40K. Can
Yeah.
we make, do I have to? Nope.
Nope, that doesn't help. No, there's just, you got to scroll up and down, it looks like.
I was trying to make this smaller, and it is not
No, it's
working
not actually going to
at
make...
all.
No.
Okay.
It just is what it is.
All right, it just is what it is. All
It
right.
be what it be.
Well,
Plus,
next...
you don't want to see anything that has to go back to the warp anyway.
Indeed. So next up, we have the Soul Grinder.
The grinder of souls himself. This guy is so efficient for his points.
Yeah, he is just a meaty stat block. He has nothing else, to be clear.
Yeah,
He is a
that's
meaty,
it.
good stat block.
He is 3 points on Bring It Down.
That is... Yeah, he's 16 wounds.
16.
Yeah, that is a 3 points on Bring It Down. He's still really good.
He is still really, really good. And he can just come in off of Bellacor. What's really fun is just 3 of them appearing right next to Bellacor and just charging.
Wholly within 6 of Bellacor is actually difficult.
It's more funny.
That is a crunch wrap supremely difficult time.
What? Let me see if it's every model in the unit.
Yeah.
It says wholly within 6, so I believe it's just every model in the unit has to be within. But if it's a single model,
wholly within means that the whole unit has to be within every part of every model.
Oh, that's
yeah,
much
that is
less good.
Crunch wrap supremely difficult time.
You're gonna get you could probably get 2. You can get 3. You're literally tri-pointing Bellacor at that point.
Make those charges or Bellacor is not.
That's true.
That's so bad.
He has to fly over.
The problem is that he has to literally stay back from the charge so that he can fit in a soul grinder.
Still, they are very thick.
I
think just dropping them on the board and just charging with them is
I think they're really
big
good.
Annoying.
To me, they're a worthy offering that is up there. They're a higher end worthy offering.
I think so. Their stats are just crazy. 190 for toughness 8, potentially 9. All 4 of the upgrades for god-specific abilities are good.
Yeah,
Korn makes them
toughness.
Bop. Not bop. He makes them bang.
He makes them bang. Slaanesh makes them faster, and they are slow. Tzeentch gives him a 4-up in combat.
As well as shooting.
And Nurgle gives him +1 toughness.
Toughness 9.
So thick.
So thick. Yeah, so I think they're really good, but they are just stats. But they're good stats. So let's get on to the Scrivener.
The Spoilpox Scrivener.
This guy is a clean 100.
I bet he is.
He really
What does he do?
So he does the standard Nurgle nonsense. He doesn't cast any powers.
Yep, he's a lieutenant. He doesn't cast powers.
Yep. You select a Plaguebearer core unit within 6. They get +1 to hit, and they get objective secured. And if they already have it, they count as 2.
Giving OBSEC is cute. A hundo is a little more than I wanted to make Plague Drones usable, but it's fine.
I think he makes Plague Drones usable, though.
Yeah. Fine.
I'm not excited.
Can we talk about the most foul deed that GW has committed in this book?
Celesky?
Celesky going down so hard in attacks. Celesky got hit.
Yeah, she is 12.
Used to be 24.
And they're not, oh my god.
Used to be a clean 24 average, because it was 8 plus, I'm not even kidding you, 8d3. And now it's 12.
It is 12. It's 6 attacks at strength 7, AP3 damage 3.
Sure.
And 6 attacks at strength 4, AP2 damage 1.
I don't care.
And 6 shots at strength 4, AP2 damage 1.
It's a Psyker.
It's a Psyker. Knows 2, cast 2.
It's also a Captain Lieutenant aura, but I am just thoroughly uninspired by this.
Yeah. Selesky's fine.
I'm so
195,
uninspired
I
that
believe.
Selesky is going in between great and clean ones.
That is
Not a place you want to be.
anyone wants to be.
Absolutely not. Just imagine, you know.
Yeah, Selesky is 200 clean.
Yeah, like
That is so expensive.
brother.
Oh my god, 200 is so pricey. Like you can almost just get a keeper.
Blue
at that
scribes.
price cost.
Tell me about the blue scribes.
Terrible.
Oh wow, we did not save the best for last. Meager.
They're not a caster. They're 90 points. They fly around. They're -1 to cast within 12 inches. And if that their whole gimmick is that they're -1 to cast, and if you fail to cast within 12 of them, then they cast a smite at you for free, and you can no longer use that spell. That is so unusable. It's crazy. And then they roll 2d6 at the start of the psychic phase, and you pick one of those off of the Zinch table, and you cast it. Can't be denied. That's cute. That's cute. Is it worth 90 points? No, because I'll just pick 2 and cast 2 off a Psyker that costs less.
Yeah, it's rough, buddy. And he can't do actions.
Can't do psychic actions.
Yeah. Okay. So the changeling,
Super cool.
somehow more useless than the blue scribes.
Deeply useless, but so cool.
It's a Zinch Herald that does not cast spells.
No, it does. It does.
Oh, it does cast.
It's better than the blue scribes because you pick the spell you cast.
Okay, does it cast one?
Cast one. Knows one. Cast
Okay,
one.
so it's worse than a walking herald.
Yes.
At that. And in exchange, it gets the combat stats of someone.
In exchange, you pick an infantry unit,
Okay.
an infantry model within engagement range, and you gain the strength, weapon skill, and attacks, and a weapon that is equipped with.
Yeah.
That's all you get over a herald.
You don't get
by
it.
the way.
And you cast less, and you cost more.
And yes, you cost more. The changeling is 100 points,
So it's
and it is paying for the sins of early 8th edition.
yeah, because it used to be broken as
It is
everything.
a meager offering as well.
I think it's worse than the blue
I
scribes.
think it's better. You pick the power you cast.
I would take
you
the
cannot
blue scribes first. It does something different. This is a worse walking herald.
fair.
Like what I've
It
already
can do actions.
I've
It
already
can do actions.
I've already rule of 3'd out my walking heralds, and I'm now adding the changeling.
You're not adding blue scribes. That's for sure.
Okay. How about the Mask of Slanesh? We are winding our way down here.
Yep. I think we've only got 1 or 2 left.
We've got 3 left. So the Mask of Slanesh.
Mask of Slanesh moves 10,
Yeah.
decent combat stats, strength 4, AP3 damage 2, 6 attacks.
I think she can fall back in charge.
She can in fact fall back in charge.
Can she advance in charge?
She can. Well, no. Every time it fall back in charge, not advance in charge, and every time it makes a normal move, advance, fall back, or charge, it has flip belt.
Okay, so it's like a flip belt herald that doesn't cast powers. I think it's slightly better in combat, but not by an appreciable amount.
Not by enough. It
Still
has
4
wounds, and it has an effect that requires it to be in engagement range of you.
It's a decent effect. You can do one of like 3 things, right?
Yep. You pick an enemy unit, and then either Slanesh units get +1 to hit them, or they get -1 to hit, or they get -1 to wound. You pick one of those. The problem is
You have to be in combat, and it's
you have to be in combat, and this lady is
it's not
4
bad,
wounds.
but she is a 4-wound girl. Yeah, I don't love the mask at all.
She dies if your opponent looks at her funny.
I think she's
90 points.
fine, but like, cause going in and tagging someone and being like you're -1 to wound is cool, but she doesn't do enough.
And also, Slanesh isn't the most durable. Like if that was in Nurgle,
yeah,
I guess.
she's better than the scribes.
She's imperfectly balanced, but she's like
The
clean at
bottom
the bottom.
Yeah.
All right, Arako the Warfiend.
All right, our second to last Forge World unit. We're done with the Codex.
We're done with the Codex.
We just have Araka the Warfiend and someone else.
Zerakinal, I believe.
Yeah, I always call it Zeracniel, but yeah, fair enough. Who could really say?
Who knows?
Yeah,
Also, who cares?
Araka the Warfiend. Is he a walking corn prince?
He's a walking corn prince with 9 wounds, 3 up save. Keep a tally every time this model destroys an enemy model. Once it's reached 8, add 1 to the model's movement, strength, and attacks, and you just keep doing that.
Oh, that's like. Does he have a sweep attack so that he can do that?
No, of course not. He just has 6 attacks.
Does he hit harder than a walking corn demon prince?
He hits. Yes, he does actually.
Okay.
He's strength 9, AP 3, damage 3, and on wound rolls of 6, it's damage 6.
That's like.
Yeah. He gives corn demon units reroll hit rolls of 1 while they're within 6 inches. So he can give that to soul grinders if you took them.
Okay, so but
He
he's
can
a
deny the
walking
witch.
prince.
He's a walking prince.
Okay, how much would you pay for that?
Probably 140 because it's a little worse than the walking prince that can take a relic, and then he's 150.
But he does get some cool upgrades in exchange.
It's literally I would deep strike him in and charge. Actually, 130 because the walking prince is 80 points.
The walking prince
sorry, not
is-
80 points, 8 attacks.
Oh, okay.
My brain literally.
And he is 6 attacks.
He is 6.
So he's worse. Okay. He is 145. He is close.
He's fine.
Fine.
You warp locus him in, you charge something.
Baraka the Warfiend.
He's just, for 5 points cheaper, he is just worse at that than a Walking Prince.
Yeah.
All right.
Zarachniel.
Zarachniel, who knows, who cares. All right. She is toughness 7 with 18 wounds, with a 4-up armor save, 4-up invuln. So she is straight up just worse than a keeper at durability-wise.
Yeah.
She gives her leadership out, which is unimportant. If any non-vehicle models are destroyed by this model in the fight phase, it regains D6 wounds, -1 to hit. That's it. She has 4 additional attacks. It's strength 7, AP 4, damage 3. She brackets. She doesn't lose weapon skill. She loses attacks, strength, and movement.
Slower than a keeper now.
Yep. Wound rolls of 4+ on her main attack do 3 mortal wounds, and the attack sequence ends.
Of 4?
Of 4+.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, she's not... If she had keeper stats, she'd be pretty decent.
Yeah, she is unfortunately more expensive than a keeper.
How much?
400. It's too much.
Banish that back to the warp?
Banish back to the warp. I think she's the best Greater Demon because she's the cheapest.
She's the best Forge World Greater Demon.
Yeah. Best Forge World Greater Demon.
Yeah, she's... Well, I don't know. She doesn't have any durability. She just has a 4-up invuln, toughness 7, 18 wounds.
18 wounds is just the wrong number.
It's just the wrong number.
Yeah.
And she can't be -1 to wound in any capacity, which is just pretty bad.
So that's everything in the Demon book. And also all their Forge World units.
Yeah, I think Demons are shaping up to be like a top...
They're top mid-end.
Yeah, top.
I feel like they landed solidly in A tier without really sniffing S.
They're not close to S, but
yeah.
they're
like solidly in A tier.
They're with good. A lot of other codexes at the moment.
Yep.
Like they're just at a good power level for the metagame.
Yep.
And I think they'll slide right into the metagame. They won't make a ton of waves.
Yeah, they have crazy number of data sheets, and a lot of them are just getting passed over because they don't do anything exciting.
They're just, a lot of the Demon Army is stats. Like the Demon Army is stats and Deep Strike, and then there's like a couple unique things. There's like Bellacor, Flamers, and I guess the Bloodthirster, but the Bloodthirster is still just stats.
Yeah.
So
good stats though.
Great stats. I'm not knocking him.
Yeah. So. Yeah, I think I feel pretty good about where we put everything here.
Yeah, I think the Demon Codex is at a good power level. It's not going to disrupt the metagame.
Not heavily.
Not heavily. I do think there are builds that might be able to give Tau problems. It's not necessarily a problem. Tau are actually really good right now, even if their win rate's like weirdly low. I don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think they're good.
Well, if you want to see more of Demons, as a matter of fact, you should stay tuned because in just under an hour, we're going to be playing them live on YouTube. Jack is taking them out for the first time on YouTube. You're taking them up against the Grey Knights.
Yes, very fluffy. There's a demonic incursion, and Siegs has responded.
Absolutely. Yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'm really excited to watch that game. Cannot wait to see how it unfolds. But we will find out more later today. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you enjoy our content, make sure that you give us a like, a share, a subscribe, all those wonderful keywords. They help us produce content and make more Warhammer for all of you. As well, consider signing up for the War Room. You can find that on our website, theartofwar40k.com, or right here on our YouTube channel. We have a lot more Chaos Demon content in the War Room as well. We just played a game yesterday, and we have another one coming up tomorrow. 3 Demon games in 1 week, trying out different ideas, just seeing how we feel about the book. So thank you so much for watching, everyone. We appreciate your support. We're going to send you away for, Shackleton Mangrum is trying to get us on Crusade. Shackleton, bad man. Bad.
Spritz you with the water bottle.
But we're going to send you away with a commercial for that War Room, if I can find it. There we go. Thank you so much, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There's so many rules in 40K, hundreds of events, and constant updates. Skip the learning curve of Warhammer and join the pros. Art of War is led by multiple world champions with decades of success. We teach clinics, stream games, and inspire you to succeed at your favorite hobby. Join our global community of gamers just like you.